Thank you, and do have a wonderful evening, Bahamas.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
It's What's Trending with Jiminita Swain and the Bahama Beauty at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas from Studio A. It all starts right now.
Fresh off the celebration of International Women's Day, we're cheering on women everywhere. May you keep rising and coming out on top. This is What's Trending. Today is March 9th, and I'm Jiminita Swain. And today, there's a lot we want to unpack with you. Named MVP of the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament, but the story behind the win is even more powerful. How one young athlete honored his father while leading his team to victory. Plus, celebrate courage, celebrate life. We're headed to the Emerald Soiree to see how one night of compassion is changing the Bahamas forever. And finally, it's Monday, which means it's time for What's the Buzz? Get the latest social media headlines, viral trends, and the stories everyone's talking about online. We'll be right back with our first guest sharing their story you don't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili. Garlic and ginger have many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you. Those pepper wings, what's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
So many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper wings. Bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong. Bang bang bang. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding bang ding. Ding ding dong.
Welcome back. Sports have a way of teaching us about resilience, teamwork, and heart. But sometimes the lessons go far beyond the game itself. Mario Roll, a standout student athlete from C.I. Gibson Senior High School, recently earned his MVP honors at the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament. But behind that victory is a story of strength and perseverance. Just days after the heartbreaking loss of his father, Mario pushed through unimaginable grief to help lead his team to the championship. Along the way, he found the support not only from his teammates, but also from his coach, Kevin Johnson, who stepped in as a mentor during one of the most difficult moments of his life. Today, we're honored to have both of them with us to talk about basketball, brotherhood, and the power of showing up even when life gets tough. Welcome to What's Trending, Mario. Coach KJ.
Glad to be here.
It's great to have you here with us. So, Mario, first of all, congratulations on being selected the MVP at the Hugh Campbell tournament. But what did that moment mean to you?
It means a lot to me. Even though my father passed, even though if he was there to the game to watch me play, he'd have pushed me more through it. But I feel good how I accomplished my first MVP as a senior.
Wow, that is amazing. So how did you find the strength to keep going and to show up for your team, even though this passing happened during the week that you guys were playing in New Campbell?
Every day, people been texting me, keep my head up, be strong. And my coach motivated me to keep going.
And so, Coach KJ, Mario was going through such a difficult loss at the time with his father. What did you see in him as both a player and as a young man?
It was a very difficult time, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, all of us had to step in, you know, not only me as a coach, but, you know, the staff at C.I. Gibson, you know, gave him a lot of encouraging word to say do it for his father. You know, his father would have been so proud in the gym to watch him play and accomplish this goal. So, you know, every day we encourage him and push him to just tell him keep pushing along and do it for his father.
And Mario, this victory came during a very difficult time. How did you find the strength to keep going and also to keep showing up for your team?
Every day was motivating me. Say, because we need you, we need you. So I just said in my head, they need me. And my daddy would have been the same way too, if he was still there living to watch me play.
So that was enough encouragement to push you and get you through it.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And Coach KJ, we understand that you really stepped in to support him. What did that mentorship look like off the court?
You know, as a coach, is more than, you know, being a coach. You gotta make sure these guys do the right thing. You know, Mario, when he came to me from junior high school, you know, he is trending in the wrong direction in terms of what his career path was. You know, he's, you know, and I can say this, he's, you know, get caught up in a little gang activities in the Mother Lights area and not doing what he's supposed to do. Academically, he was not engaged like how he should be. And, you know, it was a pattern. And he understood the program, and he understood what it took. And I told him, I said, our goal is to make sure you're a part of the diploma program to graduate if you want to have a chance to go off to school. And he took the challenge and ran with it. He got his PJCs. His grades shoot up, 2.7 average. And he's doing well now. And he understood the importance of going to study hall Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to prepare himself for a lifelong journey.
And that makes a lot of sense. So when you actually stepped onto the court, Mario, were you playing for yourself, for someone in particular? What was personal to you? You talked about the support that you got from those around you, but what was going through your mind to keep you focused on what you had to do?
The first time I stepped on court, the flashback come back to me. How my father passed, I wanted to cry, but I stick up and be a man and go on the game and fight for it.
So you just put all of that emotion, all of that passion, all of that energy into the game.
Yes, ma'am.
That is truly amazing. And Coach KJ, keep watching him get to that MVP point in the tournament. What was that moment like for you as his coach?
Very special. I was surprised how calm he was, because Mario, as a player, you know, over the 3 years I had him, he's grown tremendously. And this last year, he had some hills and valleys, but consistent. And in the championship game, I saw a calmness on him. He didn't rush his game. He waited till the game come to him, and it worked out perfectly. In the first half, he was kind of struggling a little bit, but the second half, the game came to him, and it became easy, and that's why he was successful the way he did.
And Mario, you talked about it earlier on, the support that you got from your teammates, you know, people around you, encouraging you to, like, you know, just be strong during that difficult time. What did the support from your teammates mean to you as an athlete, as a person?
That meant a lot to me. When they're around them, I feel loved around them. They just bring it, like, bring all love. They just bring all the, what else?
Love and support.
All the love and support.
Brotherhood,
to me. Like, be a brother's keeper.
Mm-hmm.
That makes that's really powerful. And what does Mario's journey say about the kind of character and what you try to build within the Rattlers program, Coach KJ?
you know, he has an opportunity to, very good kid, and you could ask all the teachers around school, they could ask him to do anything. He's always willing and wanna be able to help wherever he can. And, you know, teachers could tell you they could ask Mario to do anything, and he's willing to help. But his opportunity is great. He's gonna have a chance to go to college. First of all, the first step is to get him into prep school and continue to prepare him physically and mentally, and then move on to get his education through basketball. And that was our goal, and he will be accomplishing them goals.
And that is amazing. Congratulations on that. But this is for both of you, Mario, and yourself, Coach KJ. If there is one message that you would like young athletes across the Bahamas to hear about resilience and teamwork, what would it be for you, Mario?
I'll tell them keep pushing. They could fulfill their dream.
That's good advice. And what about you, Coach KJ?
Hard work. Yeah, always remember to put God first in everything you do. You know, the first thing a coach will ask you is how's your academics, how's your grades. You may be the best player in the world, but if you want to go to college, and the first thing they'll ask you how's your academic, my objective will be, listen, get your grades. It's very important. And, you know, always trust your family and trust what they say, and keep working hard. It's about hard work, because all of us want that opportunity to play at the next level. So is thousands and thousands of other kids around the world. So you have to put in the work, and hopefully you will achieve those goals when you set it.
Well, what an incredible story of strength, resilience, and the power of community. Mario, your determination both on and off the court is definitely truly inspiring. Coach Johnson, thank you for being the kind of mentor every young athlete deserves. And congratulations again to you, Mario, and of course, being the MVP at Hugh Gamble, and of course to the entire CI Rattlers team. It's obviously a great moment for the family, and that clearly shows us what it means to show up for each other. So thank you again, and congratulations again to you.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Well, still ahead, as we recognize Kidney Month, we'll learn about an upcoming Emerald Soiree aimed at raising awareness and support for kidney health, including the powerful journey of a living donor. Stay with us.
Downtown Nassau is coming alive thanks to the Tourism Development Corporation. The streets are cleaner and spaces are being reimagined for everyone to enjoy.
We're inviting Bahamians to help us get involved in entrepreneurship. Come and talk with us as the Tourism Development Corporation and help us to revitalize downtown and create opportunities for Bahamians.
With the revitalization efforts of TDC, it's a downtown you can see, feel, and be a part of.
Today, we highlight a cause that touches many families across our nation, kidney health and the power of giving the gift of life. The Bahamas Kidney Association is raising awareness and critical support through its upcoming Emerald Soiree happening March 28th at the beautiful Margaritaville Beach Resort. Joining us today are the association's Executive Medical Director, Dr. Labard Roberts, and President Tamika Roberts, who is also a living kidney donor. Tamika will share her personal journey, while Dr. Roberts will discuss the upcoming fundraiser and how members of the public can get involved. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
It's great to have you with us today. So, Dr. Roberts, we will start with you. For those who may not be familiar, what is the mission of the Bahamas Kidney Association and who do you serve?
So, basically, our primary objective is to raise awareness and be there for patients with kidney disease, okay? As an association, we give to those who are in need. We donate various medications, have different events, and our goal is to help those who aren't able to help themselves. So this is our first year actually having the Emerald Soiree on March 28th. We're going to be honoring a few members, but it's a time for kidney disease not only to be promoted in awareness, but also to be celebrated for those who are suffering this journey alone, to show them that we are there, right there with them.
So you touched on it, but we were going to get into the Emerald Soiree. Sounds very fancy, but what can guests expect from the event on March 28th?
Okay, so Margaritaville is where we'll be having the event, and at the event we'll have our title sponsor, J.S. Johnson, and we have our diamond sponsors, that's Eating Well.
That's a lot of people are going to be involved. It's going to be a fun, sounds like it's going to be a fun evening as well. So people going to be dressed in the nines?
Correct. We got to make sure come in your best green attire.
All right, because green is the color for Kidney Month.
Correct.
All right, all right, all right. So how will the funds that you raised from this event directly support kidney patients here in the Bahamas?
So one of the things we focus on, so the average kidney patient is on about 8 to 10 different medications, all right? And we actually sponsor some of these medications free of charge to our kidney patients. So by signing up with the association and coming to our events that we have every third Sunday, we have different guests and different speakers that actually come to make you aware of how to take care of those with kidney disease, cooking lessons, and also these medications and stuff like Nepro that actually is supported for these kidney patients. In addition to this, we're actually embarking on a new dialysis sponsor, just finding a way to actually help those on this journey.
And what should persons keep in mind that may not know anything about kidney disease, kidney health? What's the key element that they should keep at the back of their mind if they say that they want some knowledge of it?
So kidney disease is typically silent until it's too late, okay? One of our promotions is trying to get awareness out there. You know, we're offering 100 free screenings for persons, and this is so people can know their status, know that, you know, may not have any symptoms at this time, but your kidney disease can still be dwindling without knowing. So getting a blood check, getting urine check is the way we can find out how, at what stage of kidney disease you are. It's only in the 4th or 5th stages when these symptoms would tend to present.
And Tamika, let us bring you into the conversation. You're not only the president of the association, but you're actually a living donor yourself. So what inspired you to make such a life-changing decision?
Well, it's me and my brother, 2 of us, and we grew up very close. All my life, it's been me and him. And so when he was diagnosed in 2017 with kidney failure, we knew that we did not want him to have a life on dialysis. And so less than 1 year, he was on dialysis, and we just, me, his mom, and his wife, definitely 3 strong ladies in the family, we came together, and we knew we didn't want him on dialysis, and we had the discussion surrounding living donation. Everybody was willing to donate to my brother because he's a lovable person. You know, everyone, my mom, dad, his wife, we were willing to donate. And of course, after everyone went through the process, I was up to bat last. And so I was the one that was medically cleared to donate to him.
So what was that donation journey like for you physically, emotionally?
I can say that it's a very emotional journey. The whole process for kidney disease is an emotional one for those on the journey, especially without support. Family support, I would say, is so important, especially for persons on this journey. Family support, and even now, as the Bahamas Kidney Association is here, a wider community support is important for these persons. And for me on that journey, it was an emotional one. You have a lot of crying, a lot of emotions up and down. You don't know what the final outcome would be, especially because we didn't have the Bahamas Kidney Association. We didn't have someone to kind of support and guide us down that road. So it's like you're figuring it out as you go along. And so it was emotional. It was very emotional. It's only me and my brother, so both of my mom's kids were on the operating table at the same time.
That is scary.
And so, yes, and so it was a lot, but I can say the end result, I will do it again and again and
that's
again
love.
and again. Yes.
So what do you wish more people understood about kidney disease and early detection?
I think for early detection is definitely important because it can save a life. For kidney disease, I would want more families to support those that are on this journey. I think that is so important, especially for the person that sits in the dialysis chair mentally, to know, you can go home to loved ones that will be there to support you, be there to help you with your diet, to be there to take you to and from dialysis. When you're finished with dialysis, someone will be home to help you because, you become weak. Someone could pick up your medication, someone could go to the meetings to get the information to support you. So I think for me, I would really like to see family members really support more persons that are on dialysis.
All right, well, that definitely is a powerful story of love and commitment. So even though kidney disease affects more people than we realize, it's through awareness and early detection, and as you mentioned, community, that we can truly change the outcome for a lot of people. So we thank you and the Bahamas Kidney Association for the incredible work that you're doing and that you will continue to do and to be encouraged. So thank you again, Dr. Roberts and Ms. Roberts, President Roberts, for joining us today. And I hope your soiree is definitely a fabulous success.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, millions of users are turning their backs on ChatGPT, celebrity, family drama, and a steamy lip-locking session confirming long-swirling rumors of a rekindled romance. More on the other side of the break.
If you would like to be a part of What's Trending, DM us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS.
Tired of looking at the same old kitchen? Step 1. Our talented recommended designer Mark crafts a custom design just for you. Step 2. Once your design is ready, CBS Bahamas makes ordering effortless. Your dream kitchen is within reach. Step 3. Our recommended installers bring your vision to life, ensuring every detail is perfectly in place. Sit back and relax as your dream space becomes a reality. Visit cbsbahamas.com and start bringing your home improvement dreams to life today.
It's time for your quick hit of the stories everyone is talking about online and off. From celebrity drama to sports comebacks and a little rooftop romance, the Bahama Beauty is here to get you all caught up.
A frightening incident involving one of music's biggest superstars. Singer Rihanna is safe after her Beverly Hills home was targeted in a shooting over the weekend. Authorities say a woman drove up near the property and fired multiple rounds toward the residence before fleeing the scene. Police later arrested a suspect identified as a woman in her 30s who investigators say fired between 7 and 10 shots toward the home using a rifle. At the time of the incident, Rihanna was reportedly inside the home she shares with her partner A$AP Rocky and their children. Thankfully, no injuries were reported, but authorities say the suspect has been booked on suspicion of attempted murder while investigators work to determine a motive. The shocking incident has left fans relieved that the global superstar and her family are safe. The popular AI platform ChatGPT is now at the center of a growing boycott movement after its parent company, OpenAI, signed a controversial agreement with the U.S. Department of Defense. The deal would allow the Pentagon to use OpenAI's AI systems within classified government networks, a move that immediately sparked backlash from critics who worry about the potential military use of artificial intelligence. A grassroots campaign called Quit GPT has been encouraging users to cancel their subscriptions and stop using the chatbot altogether. According to organizers, more than 2.5 million people have already pledged to leave or boycott the platform, with many sharing screenshots of canceled subscriptions across social media. The controversy intensified after OpenAI's competitor, Anthropic, reportedly declined a similar Pentagon deal unless strict protections were added to prevent mass surveillance and autonomous weapons. OpenAI has since said the agreement included technical safeguards to prevent misuse, but critics remain skeptical. Former NBA star Dwight Howard is trending after his current wife, Amy Luciani, shared an emotional moment discussing their family situation.
And I can't go down for what he's doing, so they took our daughter to cover for him, his son, to cover for him. He had him lying. I recorded it.
The clip quickly spread across social media platforms, sparking intense discussion among fans and followers, with lots of them criticizing Luciani and bringing up past issues with Howard's ex, Royce Reed.
Until you do right by me. Now you want to speak because he brought you into it?
You called me crazy, right? You said I was jealous. You said I wanted him when it's always been about the damn kids. And now you want to sit here and cry and sit here and be like, it's because of what everybody else did to him. No, it's because of what he does to people.
Luciani and Howard wed in 2025, and as is often the case with personal matters unfolding on the internet, people everywhere have something to say. Boston Celtics superstar Jason Tatum is officially back on the hardwood after recovering from a torn ACL that sidelined him late last season. The injury was a huge blow not only for Tatum, but also for Celtics fans who had another championship hope riding on the All-Star forward. After months of rehab, recovery, and intense training, Tatum has now returned to the court, making one of the most anticipated comebacks of the NBA season. Fans across the league have been celebrating the return, and if his performances against the Dallas Mavericks and the Cleveland Cavaliers are any sign, he may be picking up right where he left off. And finally, a little celebrity romance that has the internet buzzing. Model and entrepreneur Lori Harvey and actor Damson Idris are trending after a video captured the couple sharing a steamy kiss during a rooftop moment in Paris. The clip quickly made its way across social media, with fans reacting to everything from the romantic setting to the couple's undeniable chemistry. Some are calling it relationship goals, while others are simply enjoying the internet's latest viral love story.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. Out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
I'm Jordan, by the way. Tom.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation proudly kicks off festival season in the islands of the Bahamas, celebrating 20 years of Bahamian music and heritage.
So the Ministry of Tourism, especially the Cultural and Authentic Events Department, is excited to bring the 20th, can you believe it, the 20th year of the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. It's going to be in beautiful Georgetown, Exuma, March 13th and 14th at the Regatta site. This festival is so important to us as a people, but let me tell you, most importantly to the people of Exuma, it's opportunities to increase economic spend. It's a way for our tourists to learn a little bit about who we are. And our locals, we love to encourage everyone to travel because Exuma is beautiful. The waters, you can't beat that. You're gonna have friendly people. There's lots of good time, just a good time to get to know everyone. There's gonna be 2 great nights of the best entertainment, but what I wanna really tell you first is every day it starts at 10 a.m. and of course you can bring the kids out. There's gonna be a culinary competition, and at nighttime everything comes alive. We have Veronica Bishop, we have Gino D, Funky D, Nishi, D-Mac. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. And what we're going to do a little different this year is once all of the entertainers are done on stage, there's going to be an after party on both nights, hosted by DJ Pencil. Everybody knows Pencil. You know it's going to be a good time. It's going to be the best in Exuma culture and heritage on display.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Can your passion actually pay the bills? One Bahamian content creator is proving it can. Don't miss this Tuesday on the show. Well, thanks for watching. Stay connected with us on Instagram at What's Trending on ZNS. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. See you later.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. The nation's leader meets locals tonight, declare the error on the 2026 arbitration ruling. Plus, a Grand Bahama family overcome with grief after a fatal stabbing. And the ZNS family mourns the loss of radio director Sabrina Brown.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis is on Grand Bahama tonight. The nation's chief executive has been invited and accepted the invitation to clear the air in Grand Bahama on the arbitration ruling 2026. The other panelists are attorneys Terrence Gabe, Gregory Moss, and Ernie Wallace. Our Shalia Roll is joining us live now with the latest. Shalia, what can you tell us?
Raven, residents of Grand Bahama will tonight be able to hear directly from legal experts and the nation leader on the arbitration ruling regarding the island. Now, as you can see, people are waiting outside of the hall to be let in. Government officials and the panel are yet to arrive. But let's backtrack. Last week, a tribunal issued a 139-page decision in the ongoing dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, a ruling that has left many residents seeking clarity about what it means for the island's future, with both entities interpreted the ruling as a victory. The event is expected to bring together members of the public who want a better understanding of the implications of the ruling and how it could impact governance and the development of the island. Organizers say several prominent attorneys will serve as guest panelists, including Terrence R.H. Gabe, Gregory Moss, and Ernie Wallace. The panel is expected to provide legal insight and answer questions from residents about the arbitration outcome and its potential impact on Grand Bahama. Now, if you are at home, you still have an opportunity to attend this town hall meeting to get further clarity on what is happening in Grand Bahama. The meeting starts at 7 p.m. at the Belinda Wilton Center. A full details in the report will be tomorrow in tomorrow's newscast. Coming to you live from the Belinda Wilton Center, I'm Shalia Rowe.
Great reporting. Thank you, Shalia. Meanwhile, the Grand Bahama Port Authority maintains that the arbitration between the government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority has concluded. The GBPA emphasizes it does not challenge the sovereignty of the Bahamas and does not participate in politics. In a press release issued on Sunday, the port noting that the tribunal rejected the government's $357 million reimbursement claim in full and that the GBPA does not owe any payment to the government as a result of the claim. Further, the release adds that the licensees, businesses, and residents contribute over $200 million annually in taxes, fees, and other revenue. The statement concludes that GBPA remains committed to continued collaboration with the government of the Bahamas to support Freeport's growth. Now, the full statement is available on our social media pages. Switching gears now, the parliamentary commissioner is reminding Bahamians that transferring their voter registration is more than a routine administrative step. Officials say failing to update your information could lead to serious consequences, including potential criminal penalties. Our news team has more on why voters are being urged to make the change before the next election cycle. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has the details in this report.
If you've moved but have not transferred your voter registration, you could be breaking the law. Parliamentary commissioners warning voters that failing to update their registration after moving to another constituency could carry serious consequences and in some cases may even amount to a criminal offense.
We in the Bahamas, our culture, our policies are that you vote in the polling division that you register in. If you move for whatever reason, particularly from the last general election, you need to transfer your registration.
PC Thompson says some voters who arrive at a polling station may find that their names are not listed on the register for that polling division. While they may still be allowed to vote, certain stipulations could apply. If a voter shows up with a voter's card but their name does not appear on the register for that polling division within the constituency and they insist on voting there, the presiding officer may allow them to cast a colored ballot. Each polling station will have a register listing all eligible voters assigned to that polling division and constituency.
If you don't transfer, you might find yourself in a position where you show up at the poll and you are not on that register for that polling division. You would be able to vote, or you vote on a colored ballot. But if they allow you to vote on a white ballot, for whatever reason, your name on the register, but you'll have to swear an oath if they're your challenge that you are a resident in that particular constituency.
PC Thompson also warns that anyone who swears an oath and is found to be untruthful will face charges.
If you swear to an oath and you swear and it's not the correct thing, you stand a chance of being charged for a criminal offense. So I want to encourage all Bahamians, please, make sure that you're in the right constituency, in the right polling division, and if you move for whatever reason, transfer your registration. We don't want you to be caught up with a legal issue at the end of the day.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Well, on to some sad news. Police on Grand Bahama are investigating a deadly stabbing that has left one man dead and a community searching for answers. The victim was unofficially identified as Kareem Roll, who was fatally stabbed in the Hepburn Town community late Saturday night following what relatives say was a dispute involving a mutual female acquaintance. Family members now say the tragedy unfolded just weeks after Roll survived a devastating house fire, making his death even more difficult to process. Our Shalia Roll reports.
Which was once a place of comfort for 38-year-old Kareem Roll, became the place where he was brutally attacked from behind, this resulting in his death. Police say shortly after 11 p.m. on Saturday, March 7th, in the Hepburn Town community, an adult male was stabbed in the neck. Emergency medical services responded to the scene and transported the victim to the hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Family members have identified the victim as Kareem Roll. In January, Roll survived a house fire in which he alleged that a female acquaintance set a mattress on fire, destroying most of his belongings. Relatives claim the fatal altercation that night reportedly stemmed from a dispute involving the same woman.
They tried to contain the fire, but they didn't know if we down my brother's door. He said, but we can't do nothing to him, but that was burned, bro.
Dry droplets of blood still stain the pavement at the bus stop where the victim was known to frequently spend time. Family members say he had just returned from working on a fishing vessel and was expected to head back out to sea soon. But before he had that opportunity, his life was tragically cut short. Anthony Johnson, cousin of Kareem Roll, says he witnessed a heated argument between Roll and the suspect on the night of the incident. Johnson alleges that the two men were familiar with each other because they shared the same female friend. According to Johnson, the suspect made a chilling remark moments before Roll was killed.
Tell him, this for you, I get this for you. He tell him straight up, I get this for you. The box cutter, what he point at him. That's what he killed him with.
Johnson also echoed his call for justice for his cousin, saying he did not deserve to die in such a brutal manner.
That ain't me. I want justice for him. That's my family man. That ain't right. And it ain't like he faced him and killed him. He sneaked that man and killed him, man. That man was drunk and sitting down there. Come from behind and cut his throat, man.
Superintendent Nicholas Johnson, officer in charge of the Criminal Investigation Department and press officer for the Northern Bahamas, says the matter remains under active police investigation.
Stage of the investigation, we later took a male into custody, age 47, and he's assisting us with the investigation.
Now, police are also investigating another murder that occurred in the early morning hours of Sunday, which claimed the life of 17-year-old Detario Foster. Authorities say investigations into the incident are ongoing. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Talia Roll.
Well, 2 men are dead and 4 others are hospitalized after separate stabbings on Grand Bahama on Saturday. As police continue their investigations, Christian leaders are calling on families and the church to help guide young people with love, discipline, and healthy conflict resolution before violence takes root. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
As police continue to investigate the incident that left 2 men dead in one night, church leaders say the tragedy is a sobering reminder that the word of God must move beyond the 4 walls of the church and into the streets. They are also urging parents to lead with love at home, stressing that strong families remain the first line of defense against violence.
The coming of the Lord is close, and the purposes of God for our generation, for our young men. The enemy knows that it is there, it is close. And the spirit of violence that we see rising up within our homes, rising up within our schools, rising up within our communities, is an indication that things are coming to a head.
Both crimes took place within hours of each other on Grand Bahama, as police say 2 separate stabbing incidents turned deadly. The first occurred late Saturday night in Hebron Town, 8 Mile Rock, where a 38-year-old man later died following an altercation. The second unfolded early Sunday morning along Queens Highway in Freeport, where a 17-year-old was fatally stabbed and 2 other young men were injured. Pastors say addressing violence must also include teaching conflict resolution, learning how to manage disagreements before they escalate into tragedy.
It comes down to control. When you know what I'm saying, you have a relationship, whether a man, he has a child, and then all of a sudden he and the girlfriend, or maybe the wife, they have an issue. He walks away from this. When he walks away, he is so caught up in himself, he walks away from the situation, but you are leaving a child behind.
You have challenges with people not knowing how to deal with conflict in a proper way. And so what happened is, if they have not been taught, then, once that door is open, then people got to get into violence, and then they begin to kill each other.
But these Christian leaders say the deeper solution begins at home, where love, discipline, and guidance shape what ultimately lives in a person's heart.
A lot of children are hearing a lot of fighting and punching, and a lot of stuff is going on in the home. So what happens? That bullying spirit, they take that to school, they take it on the street, and they take it in the community.
We need to get back, I believe, to godly principles, what the Lord has planned, purposed, and ordained for our homes. And when that happens, I really feel that there's going to be a greater degree for curbing what we've seen on the outside.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Well, the ZNS family is mourning the loss of one of its own. Radio director Sabrina Brown passed away Sunday after a courageous battle with illness, leaving colleagues and the wider community in grief. In this report, colleagues remember the woman behind the microphone, a mentor, a leader, and a friend. The song Bind Us Together filled the foyer of ZNS Northern Service Monday morning. Staff members stood hand in hand, faces solemn in quiet reflection. Today, the corporation mourns the loss of Sabrina Brown, director of radio, who passed away on Sunday after a courageous battle with illness. Her passing leaves a deep void not only within these halls, but across the island of Grand Bahama. For decades, Brown was a familiar and trusted voice at ZNS. She first connected with audiences through television before bringing her warmth and passion to radio. On the Sabrina Brown Show, she inspired listeners, offered encouragement, and lifted spirits. Pastor Darren Roll visited staff today, offering words of comfort, remembering Brown as a woman who gave of herself, even while quietly facing her own struggles.
I believe that beyond the 4 walls, Sabrina would be remembered. She was not just a media personnel, she was a community person, and she was a believer. When a believer dies, there's hope that even though this body is in the grave, that she knows that one day she is going to raise from the what? raised from the dead.
Her office, just steps away from radio manager Keith Taylor, was known as a place where ideas flowed freely and creativity thrived. Taylor says Brown brought vision, passion, and an unwavering belief in her team.
She is one of the reporters who was here when I first started to the corporation 21 years ago, and always enjoyed working with her. When she came into radio, the whole department had a bit of an adjustment, but I am proud to say that we were at a great place in radio, and that makes it so much tougher.
Staff members in the radio department say Brown was always eager to move ideas forward, always ready to help, always ready with a smile. The news of her passing came as a shock, but as they reflect today, they remember a mentor and a colleague who cared deeply about the people in this building.
I was in disbelief because I had just spoken to her, just checking in. And of course, she was high-spirited. My name for her was Sweet Brown Sugar, because people know her as Sweet Brown Sugar when she used to be on the radio, and so I would often call her that, because if anybody knows Sabrina, she likes to dress, she likes to look good.
She was always open, she was always welcoming. She just was so supportive. She was so supportive of not only me, but the whole entire radio staff.
And still to come.
Mount of Blessings and ShipSmart bring support to Holmesrock Junior High students and staff. We'll have that story plus sports highlights when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
The Freeport Players Guild presents Susan Hill's The Woman in Black, starring Jeffrey Swain and Romano Russell, March 13th and 14th at 8 p.m. and March 15th at 4 p.m. at the Regency Theater. Tickets $35 at the Gregory's Fine Foods, or scan the QR code to purchase online. Freeport Fashion Week 2026 presents Dream in Color. Join the opening night fashion show Friday, March 20th at 7 p.m. at the Stone Crab, Taino Beach. Donation is $100 with drinks and hors d'oeuvres included. Tickets available at the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Stone Crab.
At Save More Drugs, we got you. We got what you want. We got what you need. We got what you came for. The quality you expect. The prices you need and deserve. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. A promise made and a promise kept. The Mount of Blessings Community Center partnering with ShipSmart to make a special donation to the staff and students of Holmesrock Junior High School. Mount of Blessings pastor and president of Ebenezer Foundation, Barry Morris, says this effort was aimed at bringing support to the students and enhancing their learning environment.
We want to impact the community with our thoughts of love, support, and care, that we can get the best out of these students. And so we decided to partner with them to ensure that whatever tools are absolutely necessary, that they would have it.
When we invest in education, we invest in stronger communities and a brighter tomorrow. Many customers support our business every day, and this is just our way of giving back and say thank you.
School Principal Larissa Thompson says the donation will go a long way in supporting both students and teachers.
Bishop Morris, he actually made us a promise. He made a covenant with us, and he said that he is going to come back and give us donations where we need. So one of the requests was to actually have the music department have instruments. So he brought us 5 keyboards today. He promised us 5 more. So we are very excited. So now our music students will be making a lot of noise, but it will be healthy noise. As a matter of fact, some of them have actually signed up for the ABRSM exam. That's the Royal School of Music exam. So we're looking forward to getting excellent passes in the theory and the practical for music.
Well, it is time now for your Health is Wealth Monday tip.
Diabetes and metabolic syndrome, which is a combination of fat around your belly area, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol, all have a greater impact on women and increase their risk for heart disease significantly more than compared to men. Mental stress and depression affect women's hearts more than men. Smoking and lack of physical activity are also major risk factors, and as a group, women tend to be less active. Low levels of estrogen after menopause, and finally, pregnancy complications such as high blood pressure or diabetes during pregnancy can increase a woman's risk long-term, not only in the mother, but potentially in her children as well. If you are a woman at higher risk of heart disease because of one or more of these conditions, see your doctor as soon as possible. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and remember, your greatest wealth is your health.
Tonight and for the rest of March, we will salute women throughout the community who are making a difference. We begin with our very own Senior Deputy General Manager Allison, who leads ZNS Northern Service with pride, distinction, and the spirit of excellence. And that's a look at stories making news. Shane, what's happening in sports?
Well, the track and field regionals are all said and done. Listen, if you weren't there for the final day, we've got you covered with all the highlights.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Shane. Sports can be your way next, right after the break.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Guess what? Budget Pest Control has something important to show you. Coctoderma's Formisalis, the super termite. What makes them super? Their ferocious appetite can attack your home from below and above. They even attack forestry. But don't worry. Budget Pest Control has extensively studied this species on Grand Bahama. You can even check out our scientific paper. So you can count on us to protect your investment. Call Budget Pest Control, the termite specialist.
Save more drugs, from cosmetics to prosthetics. What you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, vitamins you need, and prescriptions you came for. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
Welcome to the ZNS Total Sports Cave, everyone. I'm Shane Stubbs. The Northern Bahamas Track and Field Regional Championships was won for the history books. Here's how it all shaked out on the third and final day. The 200-meter finals kicked the day off. Your under-13 regional champions are none other than Holmes Rock Jr.'s Amaya Taylor, winning that one in 27.14 seconds, and Sunland Baptist Arthur Spencer taking the tape in 27.01 seconds. Bishop Michael Elder and Simone Martin stormed to regional gold for the under-15 girls in 25.53 seconds. Meanwhile, there was no catching Avante Lotmore on the under-15 boys side as he ran away with the regional gold in 21.96 seconds. Tabernacle's Trinaya Roll and BMES's Kiara Thomas will come away with gold as the under-17 junior and senior regional champions, while Tabby's Taran Duncombe and Sunland Zion Bradford skated away as the under-17 junior and senior boys champs. And for the under-20s, Tabby's Kiana Henschel and Lamar Mox Roxy snagged gold as the girls and boys champions. Later on, the 4x100 meter relays weren't without some drama. In the under 15 girls finale, the Stingers looked poised for gold, but a botched final exchange allowed for the Patrick J. Bethel Marlins out of Apico to run away with the title. The same would prove to be costly for the BMES Warriors on the final exchange in the under 17 senior girls title race. That opened the window for the Falcons to soar away with the crown. In the under 20 boys showdown, the St. George's Jaguars and St. Paul Saints were foot to foot going into the third exchange, but misfortune for the programs allowed for Agape Christian out of Abaco to take this year's regional crown. And in the 4x400 meters, which closed out the day, BMES, Sister Mary, and Jack Jr. were your top three teams in the under 13 girls division, while SC Boodles, Sunline, and Sister Mary Russell Jr. were the top three finishers for the boys. For the under 15s, Jack Jr., Sunline, and Patrick J. Bethel were your top three for the girls. Sunline, Jack Jr., and Sister Mary were your top three for the boys. Your top three for the under 17 girls were St. George's, Jack Haywood Sr., and 8 Mile Rock. And for the under 17 boys, Sunline, SC Boodle, and 8 Mile Rock would finish in the top three. On the under 20 side, BMES, Tabernacle, and St. George's were your top three quartets for the girls. And for the boys, Tabby, St. George's, and Patrick J. Bethel were your top three teams. And when the final tally was all done, the Tabernacle Falcons would be announced as the junior division champs with a total of 590 points, while the St. George's Jaguars dominated the senior division from day one, finishing with 657 points. And that is your sports fix this evening. I'm Shane Stubbs. Catch you all on the rebound.
Save more drugs. We got you. From cosmetics to prosthetics, what you need for your family, the brands you're looking for, the quality you expect, the prices you need and deserve. Feel the love. Save more at Save More Drugs.
From the onset, let's just confess that Grand Bahama is a big deal. We are on the move, and the progress made is undeniable. So let's give it up to Grand Bahama. So as we look ahead, Grand Bahama's growth strategy is guided by resilience, inclusivity, and sustainability. Our development model must absorb shocks, adapt, and recover. This means smarter infrastructure, diversified income, and forward planning. Investments must translate into opportunities for Bahamians, not just through jobs, but advancement opportunities on those jobs, training, spin-off entrepreneurial opportunities, and community development through corporate social responsibility.
My commitment to you is that this administration will keep choosing the path that brings the back of all of old corporatocracy and builds something stronger in its place, with energy reform backed by real capital, with infrastructure that matches your ambition, and with Grand Bahamians, not outsiders, at the center of the story. The next time a 22-year-old Bahamian arrives in Grand Bahama with a suitcase and a dream, I want them to see what I saw in 1974, a place where the future is being built.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Raven Davis.
I'm Shane Stubbs.
And tonight we leave you with highlights of our director of radio, Sabrina Brown, whose memory will forever be etched in our hearts. Have a great evening, everyone.
Welcome to the show. I am your host, Sabrina Brown. Thank you all for tuning in. And Pakeisha, after a busy first day, conference delegates are getting the opportunity to unwind tonight. Grand Bahama woman was killed in a two-car collision near the Bahamian subdivision on Saturday. Just days later, police were called to investigate another serious traffic mishap in this area. Demetrius Pinder, Michael Matthew, and Raymond Miller made an official visit to Grand Bahama to celebrate their Olympic victory. Cathedral of Christ the King plans to donate a tree to every school throughout the island.
Sabrina Brown reports.
The Sister Mary Patricia Junior High School was commissioned in 2009. Just 2 years later, the government is moving ahead with expansion plans. I'm a native of the Southern District, and sometimes the outskirts of Grand Bahama, the young people in the outskirts tend to be overlooked, and so that is why I wanted to give back to my community. But like I said, we're open to girls from around the island. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Though I'm missing you, I'll find a way to get through. Living without you, 'cause you were my sister, my strength.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the Prime Minister in Grand Bahama to clear the air on the arbitration ruling involving the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Plus, BTVI is back in the news. This time it's unions decrying the process to identify a new president. And Friday's fatal dog shooting now the focus of an investigation amid growing public outrage over the situation. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The historic partial ruling from an arbitration tribunal into the long-standing dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority over who has control of the city of Freeport and whether damages were owed has not settled the dust between the parties. As we enter another week, the feud appears to be growing, and with it, the confusion. We have two reports into the latest developments. We'll join our Shalea role in Freeport in just a moment, where a town hall meeting is taking place this evening. But first, we begin with our Corval Pyfrom. Corval?
And Makushla, since the release of that independent tribunal's partial ruling, which, among other things, dismissed the government's attempt at receiving more than $350 million it claimed the Grand Bahama Port Authority owed it in reimbursement for services rendered, while the arbitration panel also rejected the GBPA's counterclaim, which sought it be paid nearly $1 billion by the government. The two sides have been trading barbs, with each contending the ruling represents a victory for their side. Further, the GBPA over the weekend insisted to its licensees that despite this ruling, which also clarified that Bahamian laws apply to the city of Freeport, that GBPA is not liable to the government. And while both sides are claiming victory, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis made it clear in Parliament last Wednesday that this particular point is especially significant, and again defended why it was important his government go this route.
We did so because Grand Bahama is part of a sovereign Bahamas. And the people who live there are entitled to the full protection of that sovereignty. The tribunal has confirmed that the Grand Bahama Port Authority has an ongoing contractual obligation to make annual payments to the government for the benefit of the Bahamian taxpayer for the remainder of the Hawkspeak Creek Agreement until 2054.
And as we mentioned at the start of this broadcast, our Shalea role is posted at a town hall meeting, which will get underway in just a few moments in Freeport City. Let's check in now with Shalea role from our Northern Service for that part of the story. Shalea.
Residents of Grand Bahama will tonight have an opportunity to hear from the nation's leader and law experts on the arbitration between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. As you can see, residents of Grand Bahama, along with the opposition leader and members of parliament for East Grand Bahama, are in attendance, along with various candidates across the political spectrum, waiting on the event to begin. But let's backtrack. Last week, a tribunal issued a 139-page decision in the ongoing dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, a ruling that has left many residents seeking clarity about what it means for the island's future. While both entities interpreted the ruling as a victory, the event is expected to bring together members of the public who want a better understanding of the implications of the ruling and how it could impact governance and development on the island. Organizers say several prominent attorneys will serve as guest panelists, including Terrence R.H. Gape, Gregory Moss, Ernie Wallace. The panel is expected to provide legal insight and answer questions from residents about the arbitration outcome and its potential impact on Grand Bahama. Now, once again, residents are here to further get clarity on what the arbitration means. We will have the full details in tomorrow's newscast. But until then, I'm Shalia Rule coming to you live from the Belinda Wilson Center. Back to you.
Shalia, and the crowd there in Freeport is growing. Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, will also be in attendance at tonight's town hall. And one programming note here, we will, of course, bring you complete coverage or complete broadcast of tonight's town hall meeting tomorrow evening, right after the Bahamas Tonight. Access now here on the ZNS network. For now, reporting live in studio, I'm Corbell Pye from Let's Go Back to You, Makushla.
The Bahamas wrapping up 2025 with unprecedented tourism success, and based on what this past January brought to the table, things are off to a pretty good start. The Central Bank's monthly economic and financial development report for January, its latest, showing that there were robust gains in the cruise sector. This, of course, versus the moderate strengthening in the high-value stopover visitor segment. And to back that up, preliminary data from the Nassau Airport Development Company, or NAD, pointed to January's increase in total departures to 140,804 compared to the previous year. Contributing to that figure was the 34% jump in non-U.S. international departures to 28,403, which really outweighed the 3.7% drop in U.S. departures. That's airlift. On the short-term vacation rental market side of things, data from Air DNA shows that total room nights sold shot up to 57,066 in January. And this in the face of the average daily room rate for entire place listings climbing to $690.70. Director General of Tourism Latia Duncombe has attributed demand to island offerings, strong performances across multiple travel segments, coupled with a destination that consistently meets the expectations of today's global traveler. Well, Eleuthera is holding its own as a major contributor to the local economy, with 2025 figures pegging its injection at around $579 million. But in order to keep the momentum going, Eleuthera Chamber of Commerce President Thomas Sands reasons that small and medium-sized operations may need added concessions.
That are fully compliant with the regulations of this country, that they should receive incentives and concessions similar to the guy who makes the big investment. Why? Is without that happening, they are challenged in participating. They're challenged in growing their companies, not only in the equipment and the heavy equipment business, but all these businesses here need to upgrade, they need to expand, they need to modernize, they need to go to more energy efficient equipment so that they can compete and that we can meet the service levels.
Back here in the capital, an initiative for business owners launched today at the Nassau Village Community Center. As Fern Carey tells us in this next report, the project will provide educational information and training to entrepreneurs in a number of constituencies.
Small business entrepreneurs who live in or own a business in the inner city are being equipped with the tools and guidance they need to operate and grow their business through a new initiative called the InPower Project. Registration opened this Monday, and participants will be able to benefit from hands-on training opportunities while having access to a $5,000 grant that will help them start or boost their business. Executive Director at the Small Business Development Center, Samantha Roll, says training will take place throughout the month of March.
We have about 3 training dates that allow us to be across the span or coverage of the areas. And so that's the 19th, the 21st, and I believe the 26th. 25th. The 25th are the 3 dates that we have identified. Once that is completed and you've met the requirements, making sure that you're compliant, so a business license, of course, and a few other requirements that we have outlined in our program document, we anticipate that the grant application will open up March 19th, and that we will have the business license drive, Fix Your Business, on March 28th. And by the early part of May, there will be a grant announcement.
We'll also advise business owners to have a contingency plan to mitigate against external shocks like the U.S.-Israel war in Iran.
We don't always know what external shocks will occur. And so it's important to have outlined in your plan a contingency for almost as anything that you can prepare yourself for. But the other part that is so important is to make sure that in your preparation that you're preparing for those external shocks to where your business can sustain, can survive perhaps some of those challenges.
Executive Director of the Urban Renewal Authority, Stephen Dean, says the project will help to strengthen the social fabric in inner city communities.
We, on a daily basis, are inundated with entrepreneurs, potential entrepreneurs, asking how they can get a business started, what can they do to get help, and we are so thankful we have the answer now. This partnership will cost us now to direct those people in the right directions.
The Small Business Development Center is also partnering with the Department of Inland Revenue, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, and Alive Business in the initiative. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Coming up, UTEB airs concerns regarding what's allegedly happening at PTVI. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. More news in a moment.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this month, sis.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
John, I just found out that KFC has an irresistible promo.
Crunch into the juicy flavor of the new KFC Rapstar, a classic made modern that's crunchy, melty, and grilled to perfection for all the journeys of your day. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Whether you need life insurance, an endowment plan, or health insurance, BAF has you for all stages of your life.
You're looking at a shot there of East Bay Street heading back west from Fort Montague, and that shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Shane Gibson. Thanks, Shane. Welcome back. The Union on Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas, or UTEBs, raising fresh concerns regarding accreditation and credential recognition at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. The union claims faculty members who pursued online degrees are being told those qualifications are not recognized by the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas, or NACOB, unless they pay a $2,000 registration and evaluation fee. Pointing to an industrial agreement signed on June 2022, UTEB President Daniel Thompson says NACOB is not listed or referenced in that accord. He then questions why NACOB is now being used as a determining factor for faculty qualifications.
Same as if the board itself have that insular attitude. They do what they want to do. They don't effectively communicate, and they are separated and insular to the faculty and staff at the institution.
BTVI's head of the Department of Business Studies and council member Camilla Smith argues that the requirement places an unfair financial burden on educators who are encouraged to pursue professional certification to advance their careers.
As educators, we don't just get up in the front and talk and talk and talk. We have to prepare. A lot of our work is preparation and evaluation. And after we finish doing preparation, evaluation, and then delivery, we have to go home, and then we have to also be the student, and we have to go and do and meet deadlines and mark papers. And listen to me, these faculty members did not get a lighter load, okay? They carried on with their full load. Some of them took on additional courses just to pay for their school fee in order to be able to make the sacrifice so that they could become more advanced in their knowledge.
Now, we reached out to NACOB Director, Dr. Valderine Hamilton, who says an update will be provided at a later date. NACOB concerns not the only issue UTEB's taking on, though. There's also the matter of BTVI identifying a new president. UTEB council reps claim they were not made aware of the female candidate reportedly selected to assume the leadership post, describing the whole process as unacceptable and lacking transparency. Still, Union President Daniel Thompson is hopeful the elected candidate will have the leadership skills and experience needed to guide the institute.
You have selected a president, but there's no identification of who that person is. And that is so unfortunate, because the public needs to know so that there should have been, when UB is engaged in presidential search, the finalists are brought on campus, they meet with all the stakeholders, at least we know who we're dealing with, they get an opinion of a representative. That was not done. And that is unfortunate. We're just hoping that we're praying that they know how to deal with people and that they are balanced with technical as well as personal skills. But again, they're walking into a problem when they didn't engage or involve critical stakeholders.
Now, we can tell you we contacted BTVI's Presidential Advisory Search Committee Chair, retired Anglican Archdeacon James Palacios, who declined to comment on the matter at this time. From the police this evening, a New Providence family left to make funeral arrangements after an early morning collision ended the life of their loved one. Police sharing with us that a 36-year-old was traveling south along Camp Road just before 5 a.m. Sunday when he lost control of his Chevy Trax and crashed into a utility pole. The victim was rushed to hospital. However, he died while receiving treatment. The matter is under active investigations. It's prompted authorities, though, to reissue traffic safety tips, which include stopping at red lights, obeying the speed light, never drinking and driving, buckling up, not using phones while driving, and, of course, staying alert. Eleuthera, meantime, a hot spot for traffic fatalities, and so much so that authorities there are strengthening the island's road safety campaign through a series of traffic fatality simulation exercises. Officer in charge of Eleuthera's traffic division, Superintendent Franklin Neely, says the idea is not to only reduce the number of accidents on that island, so far this year 2 men have lost their lives, but to raise public awareness on the dangers of reckless driving.
The traffic accident simulation was dubbed a great success, as it contributed positively to the professional development of officers and the strengthening of operational readiness within the division. Such initiatives are vital in ensuring that officers remain well prepared to respond effectively to real-life emergencies.
Superintendent Neely says the team will be on the ground conducting a series of simulation exercises on Eleuthera.
The first and initial exercise was done in the Southern District. We are proposing an additional exercise in the Northern Division. So we're going to partner up with our emergency partners, and we're going to put on another simulation in a time to be announced.
In other news, a funeral procession ended in heartbreak and fury after a correctional officer shot and killed a family's dog. The incident spreading like wildfire across social media, igniting outrage over the weekend. Amid swirling questions and flaring tempers over what many are calling an unthinkable act, an investigation has been launched, according to Agriculture Director Dr. Jason Sands.
Speaking with the prison officers involved in the incident. We have contacted their prison senior officers, and they have given us a date of tomorrow to conduct those interviews. The intention was to interview those officers today, but some internal investigations within the prison were being conducted today, and we agreed that we will have those interviews with them tomorrow.
Dr. Sands adding that 4 officers will be questioned in connection with the incident, and this considering that under the Animal Protection and Control Act, anyone found guilty committing such an offense can face a $5,000 fine, imprisonment of up to 6 months, or both. The act, however, also prohibits pet owners from keeping their dogs at large and can risk their furry friend being seized, impounded, euthanized, or disposed of by an animal control warden, police officer, or any such other authorized person. That said, Dr. Sands cautions pet owners to be responsible.
The Act does provide for the protection of animals, and we cannot allow the inhumane treatment of animals. But on the other hand, we must practice responsible ownership, or pet ownership, which involves licensing those animals, controlling unwanted breeding of the animals, and not allowing animals to be at large. So I encourage the public to take more responsibility, to become more aware of humane treatment of animals, and to really reconsider the ownership of a pet if they can't fulfill the requirements of the Animal Control and Protection Act.
This portion of the news is brought to you by folk called Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Sweet and spicy, marinated right, tossed with chili. Garlic and ginger have many flavors, like honey barbecue.
Signature hot wings, turn up the heat for you.
Those pepper wings. What's your flavor?
Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know. Cloud9, so many flavors to try. What's your flavor? Honey barbecue, sweet and spicy, all new.
Signature hot wings.
What's your flavor? Roasted garlic parmesan, tastes so good, chicken, you know.
Those pepper
wings.
The Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training advises the public that the registration process of the 2026-2027 school year for public school students has commenced. Parents are urged to register their children before the deadline of the 31st of March, 2026. Here's what you'll need: your child's proof of identity, immunization card, their most recent transcript or report card, parents or guardians' proof of identity. Register before the deadline to ensure a seamless transition into the new school year. Don't delay. Register today.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Well, in a shared moment of reflection and celebration, Claridge Primary students today marked Commonwealth Day with a special assembly. The Bahamas, one of 56 Commonwealth countries recognizing the day, which highlights collaborative efforts aimed at promoting economic, social, and democratic growth. Claridge Primary Principal Katharina Williams says the annual observance allows students to learn more about the 56 nations that make up the Commonwealth.
We are glad to have a space in the world stage, and so our children will learn more about the different cultures, the different places. Every grade level will be doing displays, have food sampling, we have stilt walkers, all sorts of stuff happening to expose our children.
Area Member of Parliament and State Minister for Housing and Urban Renewal, the Honourable Lisa Ramming, came with gifts for Claridge Primary Student of the Year, head girl Tyler Johnson, and third grader Stephanie Dopin.
In November 2025, the Ministry of Health and Wellness would have done a competition for Diabetes Month. And it was these two brilliant students. One would have come first in the poetry competition. And of course, she's the Student of the Year for Claridge Primary. And the second place was for the drawing. She's also a third grade student at the Claridge Primary School. So of course, this is my constituency, and so I always support them. And so while the Ministry of Health and Wellness has a lot of goodies for them today, I also brought my gift for them to say continue going and well done.
Royce and Marlena join us at this juncture for a sneak peek of Access Now. I wonder if any of you could remember Commonwealth Day as a child.
Oh.
Let's go in my back. Yes.
Too far back.
It was the mutual woof.
Oh yeah, I remember it though, and I still love to see it these days because it's always so much fun to see the mix of culture and the things that bring us together. I just every year it makes me happy. Yeah, for sure. Now, as for our show tonight, we have the police in the house because it's police month. So we're talking about all the good things that they're working on this March, what they've done already, what's coming forward, why it's so important. You know, keeping discipline.
Absolutely. And speaking of discipline, if you found the scale creeping in the wrong direction the last couple of months, don't worry. We've got a story to help you out with that. Shaquille Dane's going to be talking about healthy eating and getting that scale to trickle back down.
Spring cleaning your diet.
I like that.
Yeah. You're checking in at the quarter point, huh?
Yes.
Quarter point.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The National Report continues after this.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Introducing Valvoline Restore and Protect, a first-of-its-kind innovation that returns pistons to factory clean, removing up to 100% of deposits, restoring your engine to perform like new. All new Restore and Protect, another first by Valvoline, distributed by Battery and Tire Specialists.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is the premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
And that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation proudly kicks off festival season in the islands of the Bahamas, celebrating 20 years of Bahamian music and heritage.
So the Ministry of Tourism, especially the Cultural and Authentic Events Department, is excited to bring the 20th, can you believe it, the 20th year of the Bahamian Music and Heritage Festival. It's going to be in beautiful Georgetown, Exuma, March 13th and 14th at the Regatta site. This festival is so important to us as a people, but let me tell you, most importantly to the people of Exuma, it's opportunities to increase economic spend. It's a way for our tourists to learn a little bit about who we are. And our locals, we love to encourage everyone to travel because Exuma is beautiful. The waters, you can't beat that. You're gonna have friendly people. There's lots of good time, just a good time to get to know everyone. There's gonna be 2 great nights of the best entertainment, but what I wanna really tell you first is every day it starts at 10 a.m. and of course you can bring the kids out. There's gonna be a culinary competition, and at nighttime everything comes alive. We have Veronica Bishop, we have Gino D, Funky D, Nishi, D-Mac. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. And what we're going to do a little different this year is once all of the entertainers are done on stage, there's going to be an after party on both nights, hosted by DJ Pencil. Everybody knows Pencil. You know it's going to be a good time. It's going to be the best in Exuma culture and heritage on display.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
As we continue celebrating women this month, one government minister is making the trek to the Big Apple to make the country's stance known on women's issues.
Plus, it's never too early to start giving back. We'll tell you how the Junior Red Cross program is teaching some youngsters. Stay close for that.
Also, if you've not made good on your New Year's resolution to adjust your diet this year, our Shaquille Dames has the recipe to help you eat healthier.
And in sports, BAISS Day 1 gets underway.
Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Royston Jones.
And I'm Marlena Leonard. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Now, if you felt a bit more groggy than usual today, you're not alone. The clocks jumped forward and we lost an hour of sleep. Not feeling good for it. And all in the name of a little more daylight and a few more extra Bahamian rays.
That's right. And today also marks Commonwealth Day, celebrated across more than 50 nations around the world, including the Bahamas. It's a day that highlights the shared values and connections between those countries, from history and culture to cooperation and development.
Absolutely. Celebrated on the second Monday of March, Commonwealth Day is also a good moment to reflect on the global community we're a part of. And much like our clocks, let's jump forward right into the news. The Bahamas, of course, is celebrating leadership role on women's issues across the Commonwealth. Speaking in New York at the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women yesterday, Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Miles Lorota, confirmed that the Bahamas is now in its 4th year as the chair of the Commonwealth Women's Affairs Ministers meeting. The extended tenure there comes as the next formal meeting of ministers is not scheduled until next year, allowing the Bahamas to continue guiding the Commonwealth's work on advancing gender equality across its 56 member states. Minister Lorota told delegates that promoting the advancement of women and girls remains critical to national development and democratic stability.
We are called upon to strengthen legal protections, expand economic opportunity, increase women's leadership, and ensure that policies are grounded in data and lived realities. The roadmap on gender equality endorsed by ministers provide us with that shared compass, a working blueprint to fulfill these commitments.
The minister also told delegates that the extended chairmanship places the Bahamas in a unique position to help maintain momentum on women's issues across the Commonwealth while preparing for the next phase of collective action.
Our commitment is to integrate gender equality into economic policy, digital transformation, climate resilience, youth development, and national security discussions. We must also strengthen our data systems. Evidence is power. We can measure gaps in pay, representation, violence, or access to services, among other data sets. We move from rhetoric to reform.
More than 350 students were officially welcomed into the Junior Bahamas Red Cross Society during an enrollment ceremony held this weekend. The program, open to students through grade 3 through grade 12, focuses on building a spirit of service, leadership, and community involvement among young people. National Youth Representative and Membership Chair Ashley Pratt-Larimore shares more.
Persons who are unaware of what the Bahamas Red Cross, what the Red Cross brings to communities. We are a service organization, and so most times whenever there is some pandemic or natural disaster, or whenever there is a need, you would find that the Red Cross is normally the first or one of the first to answer the call. And so we are now just in the process of enforcing and helping to teach these young persons that you don't have to wait until you are an adult to have an impact or to be able to serve or give back to your community. It can start from now. It can start at grade 3. It doesn't have to end at grade 12. And so we're excited that these students know these things and they put these things into practice week to week in their link clubs at their schools as well.
Youth and Volunteer Manager Roderica Colley says the organization believes strongly in investing in children and teaching them values, and not only to fit the mold of what's popular or what's trending, but the power of individuality and how important it is to be themselves, because this isn't just a club, but a movement.
Bahamas Red Cross Society believes in investing into the children. It's not so much how you spend that hour, but it is the principles, the morals that we teach the children while they are there. For example, we teach them that they're useful. We teach them that they're valuable, because sometimes when you're young, you don't know how you can contribute to your society because you are so young. So we help them to develop their talents, develop their skills, and then we use them. We tap into whatever skills that they have, and then we put that on the forefront so that the persons in the club, as well as persons within the community, can benefit from their ideas, their thoughts, their creativity.
Still to come, Police Month is well underway, and we've got all the details on what our friends in the Royal Bahamas Police Force are doing to celebrate, and also how you can be a part of it. And Diane Dorsett has your Access weather forecast, so stay close.
New Providence! This is our moment of unity. Bam, 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 bam. Feel the rhythm, feel the purpose, feel the power of togetherness. On Tuesday, March 24th at 9:30 a.m., the journey begins as the baton of camaraderie run ignites the spirit of the GSSA schools of New Providence. From campus to campus, junior to senior high, the baton will travel through our government schools, symbolizing unity, teamwork, respect, and shared responsibility. Each handoff tells a story. Each stride carries pride. Each school plays a role. That's not just the beat, that's the sound of schools connected. That's the sound of New Providence moving as one. The journey builds, the energy rises, and on Thursday, March 5th, the final exchange will be made to the Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, officially ushering in the opening of the GSSA 2026 Track and Field Championships. This is more than a run. It's a message. It's a movement. It's New Providence standing together for its youth. Baton of Camaraderie Run, fueling the nation through youth athletics. The road to GSSSA 2026 begins here. New Providence, pass it strong, run it proudly, carry it together.
March shopping specials equal eye-popping savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kraft macaroni and cheese, 5.5 ounces, 99 cents. Ginger Evans flour, 5 pounds, $3.69. Sea Bass raw shrimp, 41.50, 12 ounces, $5.99. Sweet strawberries, 1 pound, $4.99. Coleman Farms cream cheese, 8 ounces, 2 for $5. Turn shopping madness into saving gladness when you shop the specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Voicing, it's a magnificent Monday. It's what I'd like to think of as a fresh start or reset from the week before. And it's time for your Access Weather Forecast, your quick look at what's shaping our weather for the next few days. Our satellite picture shows a weak cold front just north of the Bahamas, along with a mid-level trough over the central and southeast Bahamas. The front is expected to move into the northwest Bahamas Thursday night, increasing the chance of showers through Friday, while that mid-level trough is expected to exit the central and southeast Bahamas late tonight, allowing conditions there to gradually improve. Now, taking a look at your boating forecast in the northwest Bahamas tonight through Tuesday, winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots with seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll get a high tide at 1:12 in the afternoon, followed by a low tide at 7:40 in the morning. For boats in the central Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 12 to 18 knots with seas at 3 to 6 feet and a small craft advisory in effect. For the southeast Bahamas, winds will be easterly at 15 to 25 knots with seas at 5 to 8 feet and a small craft advisory in effect. On Wednesday, in the northwest Bahamas, winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas at 2 to 4 feet. We'll get a low tide at 8:39 in the morning and a high tide at 2:19 in the afternoon. For boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas on Wednesday, winds will be east to southeast at 12 to 18 knots, seas at 3 to 6 feet, and as you can see, that small craft advisory is still in effect. It's time now for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you, looking for you. But hey, y'all, where you been, y'all? I've been looking for you. I've been chilling out by the bar last night. This y'all, she was looking nice, she blew my mind. Well, all the same, I start to order drinks and I drink everything she make me feel.
That was your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that wraps up your Access Weather Forecast. But you'll join me again at 11 for a full weather update. Have a great evening, everyone. Marlena, Royston.
As always, thanks so much, Diane. Now, our friends in the Royal Bahamas Police Force are celebrating Police Month all month long. And so far, we've seen community walkabouts, a fun run walk, several church services as the force find fun and interactive ways to recognize their work and foster stronger ties within the community. Now, here to talk about everything slated for the remainder of Police Month is Chief Superintendent Sharia King, Chief Superintendent Darby Pratt, and Sergeant Kenesha Forbes Bastian.
Thank you so much for joining us on Access Now.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Chief Superintendent King, we know this isn't the first time we've had Police Month. Why is it so important that it's celebrated?
It's celebrated because it shows where we've come from. From 1840 to now, that's 186 years. And I think that deserves to be celebrated. Yeah. Additionally, as Royston said, it is an opportunity for us to engage the community, to let them know that the Royal Bahamas Police Force is here to work and to serve for you. And finally, which I think most officers believe, I believe that they enjoy, is the camaraderie through fierce competition. We compete in various sporting events and various competitions such as the pool billiard, as well as the dominoes tournament, basketball and softball. So it's an opportunity to build camaraderie among the ranks and to compete.
Yes.
And this is not Nassau-centric as well. This is happening throughout the whole Commonwealth of the Bahamas, wherever there's a police station.
That's incredible. I'd love to hear about the fierce competition. We're going to ask a little bit about that later. Sergeant Forbes Bastian, I have to ask you, why is this community engagement during Police Month so important, especially for the community and for police officers on both sides?
Well, I would say that it's important because we will be inspiring young minds, and we will also be enhancing literacy. As the book that we will be reading, A Cup of Milk, the highlight of that is gratitude and kindness. Okay. So through this initiative, I would say that the Royal Bahamas Police Force, we will be continuing our commitment not only through public safety, but through mentorship, education, and community building, investing in the future of our nation, one child and one story at a time. So the story will be read in all of the schools and also by all of the rank of the officers in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, inclusive of our very own commissioner, Ms. Shanta E. Knowles, who will be at the Blairwood Academy.
So that is what she's talking about, is our National Read in Schools Day, and that will be first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh, how sweet. And that's so important to catch the kids while they're young, to establish what they associate police with. That these are the safe people you can turn to.
I know many of you
better.
heard that, the saying where police is our friends, but we're going to coin the phrase again, police is still your friend.
Right.
Indeed.
Now, Chief Superintendent Pratt, what else can we expect for the rest of the month? I know we've got this important reading coming tomorrow, but are there more things on the way?
Indeed. What I can tell you is we have a number of events leading up to the end of the month. Basketball competition, the pool competition, and also karate, judo. Wow. We're going to display and bring other agencies will come in and support and be with us and to celebrate. This is the time when the police, we get out there and we show the general public what we normally do. And building the relationship with the general public is very, very important to us. And how do we do it? This is how we do it now, to get out there and to show the general public that the police is still your friend.
Absolutely. But tell them about the senior events that we have every Monday.
Indeed, I can tell you that, you know, our commissioner, she is out and about on every Monday at all. She did it already now for 2 Mondays, and I can tell you she will, next week Monday, she will be at a different location visiting the seniors' home. We would hope that we will be able to donate something handsome to those senior homes and to make those people in those senior homes feel at home.
That, seen and also still part of the community.
Still part of the community. Exactly. And the police will visit them, and we will have fun with them. Who knows, I may very well take some of my officers from Urban Renewal who may plot the scenes here and, you know, read a story to them. As the case may be, we'll just see how it happens.
That's so important.
Yeah.
How has the community been responding so far to Police Month and some of these events are happening in Police Month?
I can tell you that the community was very receptive to us. This is something that they want to see. From time to time, you would see that, you know, the general public would say, well, okay, the police don't do this and the police don't do that. But that concept has since changed. We now in the community talking to these people, we now asking them to give us the information, and that is what they want. They want to see the walkabout. They want to talk with us. They want somebody to shake their hand so they can feel a part of what is going on, and they want to feel the police.
Amazing.
I love that.
And I think one of the most powerful things is that people can often just see the police as a unit, just as an idea. But of course, Police Month allows you to meet police as individuals. So this is a person who's out on the street trying to make sure that everyone's safe.
You know, and what that really do, you know, it really helped us a lot. This, you know, it's amazing to see that when the commissioner did a walkabout, you had the officers from the Southern Division, they could walk from house to house and say to the commissioner, this is Harry Potter. This is John too. This is what's happening. So the police is out there, and you know, we want them to be a part of everything that we're doing.
Again, Police Month is an opportunity for us to celebrate where we've come from, to engage the community, and finally, for camaraderie with that fierce competition.
I'm coming out to watch the judo.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yes,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All the best for the rest of Police Month. I can't wait to see the photos that come out of that reading session tomorrow. I'm sure that's going to be so cute.
Yes.
And it's now time to turn things over to Total Sports to see what's on tap.
Day 1 of the BAI Says Track and Field Championships. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Some burgers are simple. The Barbecue Crispy King, this one goes all in. Smoky barbecue sauce, crispy bacon, flame grilled beef, stacked high flavor in every bite. It Nassau, we don't do small, and we definitely don't do boring. And when morning hits, the Breakfast Barbecue Crispy King has that bam to start the day. Burger King Nassau, triple down on big flavor.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Downtown Nassau is coming alive thanks to the Tourism Development Corporation. The streets are cleaner and spaces are being reimagined for everyone to enjoy.
We're inviting Bahamians to help us get involved in entrepreneurship. Come and talk with us as the Tourism Development Corporation and help us to revitalize downtown and create opportunities for Bahamians.
With the revitalization efforts of TDC, it's a downtown you can see, feel, and be a part of.
Imagine putting $25 gas in your car, scanning the QR code, and winning a whole cruise and so much more. Well, that could be you with the New Year, New Things promotion happening right now at Rubis. From now until March 27, spend $25 or more in fuel and win one of our amazing prizes, such as $500 worth of Rubis gift cards, Fidelity prepaid Visa cards, BPL vouchers, a 3-night stay at the Margaritaville Hotel, a PS5, and we'll be sending a lucky person on a cruise. I can't wait to see what you win. It's New Year, New Things with Rubis. Don't forget, spend $25 or more, scan the QR code, fill out the form, upload your receipt, enter, and win. That's my boo. I ain't getting leave. I can see y'all on the cruise. Don't leave me, don't leave me.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. Dozens of athletes and supporters bearing some intense early morning heat over at the original Thomas A. Robinson Stadium for day 1 of the BAISS Track and Field Championships. After day 1 of competition, we take a look at who sits out in front. The cowbells were ringing this morning at the old Thomas A. Robinson Stadium, bragging rights on the line. The Queen's College Comets hoping to retain their title, while their arch nemesis, the St. Augustine's Big Red Machine, hoping to sit atop the mountain yet again. Or maybe the Temple Christian Sons or St. John's Giants may shock the world this year. We start things off in the pit, continuing the momentum from a stellar Carifta campaign in 2025. Carifta gold medalist Jose Johnson, competing for the St. John's Giants, would completely outclass the rest of the field in the girls under 17 long jump, shattering the BAISS record with a leap of 6.43 meters. The mark also easily a Carifta and world under 20 qualifier. That's not all. Johnson currently sits number 2 in the world for the girls under 18 age group. Johnson on the big leap.
I feel amazing, but first I just want to give thanks to the man above for allowing me to even come out here and compete today. And I just came out here, did what I had to do.
Boys under 20 110 hurdle heats, another Carifta medalist with a big performance, Chikario Wilson, also easily surpassing the Carifta and World Athletics under 20 standards, taking his heat in 13.42 seconds, nearly 2 seconds faster than the next closest qualifier. Another Carifta gold medalist looking to build some momentum for Grenada in this week's meet is Egan Neely. After barely missing out on the Austin Seeley Award last year, he's hoping to change that this time around. Boys under 20 400 meters heat 1, Neely would be pushed a bit by Temple Christian's Christoph Munro, but Neely would show his world-class speed and resolve over the final 50 meters or so to take this heat in 48.97, which would be the fastest time of all qualifiers. Over in the long distance races, girls under 1500 meter run, getting some points on the board for the Queen's College Comets would be Victoria Sandy Aguilar, running a very well planned out race to storm from behind to take this one in 5:30.27.
Felt amazed by my race, not gonna lie, because I haven't been to practice in like 3 weeks, so it's the first time I actually really ran, because I was dealing with other sports, so I haven't been able to focus on track, so I felt pretty proud of myself that I won my race and I executed my plan.
Look at the scores after day one. In fifth position with 63 points, Charles W. Saunders. In fourth place with 131 points, the St. John's College Giants. In third with 175 points, the Temple Christian Sons. In second place with 362 points, the Queens College Comets. And sitting in first after one day of competition, the St. Augustine's Big Red Machine with 418 points. Highlights and standings from the day two in tomorrow's Sportscast. The names of the 2026 Carifta Aquatics team released overnight. A look at who will represent the 242 female swimmers named to the team: Michaela Ferguson, Delania Hamilton, Caitlin Dahlia Hanna, Isabella Monroe, Grace Nottage, and Star Seymour in the female 11 to 12 group: Jillian Albury, Aya Belton, Sienna Campbell, Isabella Curacillo, Tia Seymour, and Skylar Smith in the girls 13 to 14 age group: Celeste Gibson, Madison Gilbert, Sian Isaacs, Layla Lewis, Dindin McKinsey, Kamaya Saunders, and Zoe Williamson in the girls 15 to 17 division. The boys are Logan Camacho, Kimani Cooper, Leon Menzies, Dion Morris, and Beyond Stewart in the male 11 to 12 category: Kai Bastian, Kriston Joseph, Sean Norval Smith, Dexter Russell, Harold Simmons in the male 13 to 14 age group, and William Farrington, Michael Cox, Tristan Hepburn, Raphael McBroom, Alexander Murray, Donald Saunders, and David Singh in the male 15 to 17 age group. The open water team is composed of Ella Bruckner, Scarlett Donaldson, and Blue Gray in the girls 14 to 15 category. Alana Murray, Violet Saragai, and Alexia Zadarayan will swim in the girls 16 to 18 category. Dale Knowles, Kieran Lloyd, and Lachlan Menzies will compete in the male 14 to 15 category, and Kevin Johnson Jr., Malcolm Menzies, and Kaylin Williams will compete in the male 16 to 18 age group. The team will be coached by Giovanni McPhee, will be assisted by Lathara Forbes and Ashton Knowles. Cameron Bruni will take the reins as head coach for the open water competition. Karen Pinder-Johnson will serve as team manager, Kashara Cooper as female chaperone, and Melvin Roll as the male chaperone. And finally, to the diamond. Following a rough weekend of games, Bahamian professional baseball players and Team Great Britain have been eliminated from advancing at the World Baseball Classic. Great Britain fell 8-2 to Mexico on Friday, 9-1 to the U.S. on Saturday, and 7-4 to Italy on Sunday. With a winless 0-3 record in their first three games, they have officially been eliminated from advancing to the quarterfinals. Jazz Chisholm Jr. salvaged a three-game set over the weekend with a 2-for-4 performance against Italy, but was hitless in 9 at-bats against Mexico and the U.S. on Sunday. He also drew a walk, drove in a run, stole a base, as well as scored twice. And that's been a look at your sports on this Monday. I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out until tomorrow.
Right. Our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Koshrai members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Koshrai, where membership truly has its privileges.
At We Buy and Sell, we help you upgrade your home the smart way, from solar panels and solar lights to strong doors, storm-ready windows, tiles, mirrors, vanity, faucets, and more. Everything you need is right here under one roof. Great quality products, great price, and fast, friendly service every day. Visit us on Robinson Road or send us a message on WhatsApp 242-636-8412 or shop anytime at wbusbahamas.com. We Buy You Sell. Upgrade your home today.
Come and visit us at Shop Smart, 'cause everything is here.
Yes, we have it all for you. Toys, clothing, office supplies, appliances, custom cut blinds, bedding, drapes, and rugs. Come and visit us on Mackey Street, 2 blocks down from Wolf Road. Call us at 698-1052.
Shop Smart, at Shop Smart, at Shop Smart. Oh, everything is here.
You're looking at a shot of Fort Montague, courtesy of Shane D. Gibson. And it's time now to take a trip to North Andros. Let's go.
Now, glitz and glamour took center stage over in North Andros as several community leaders were recognized for their dedication to the island. Organizers say the gala was simply designed to say thank you to those who've played a role in building the local government system over the past 3 decades. One award recipient, while accepting the recognition, encouraged others to continue working together to strengthen local communities. Now, before we close, all week, we'll be introducing you to some amazing women working in the field once thought to be just for men.
That's right. Tonight we meet Christina Adderley, a mechanical fitter at BPL.
Christina is responsible for the overhaul, repair, and maintenance of all equipment on the main engine. She's a graduate of CB Bethel, worked with Disney Cruise Lines, and is now bringing her skills to BPL. For Access Now for tonight.
Stay tuned for the rundown with Howard Grant.
Good night,
everybody.
So suicide is a form of control.
Sometimes I used to find myself like walking alone in the road. If cars were passing, I used to be like, should I go in the road?
I would steal from people who I know, if they caught me, would kill me.
I definitely can't give you an answer for, because I'm still looking as a mother, you know, for an answer.
Tune in this coming Monday at 9 p.m. on ZNS Television for Taking Social Services to the People.
In a time when leadership matters, when policies and priorities shape our communities, and when the Bahamas deserves clarity, not confusion, there's one place for real understanding. The Rundown, where Bahamian politics meets real life, where policies are examined and accountability is demanded, from Parliament to the people, from Nassau to the Family Islands. No noise, no spin, just facts, context, and honest conversation. Join me, Howard Grant, for The Rundown. Weekdays right here on ZNS Bahamas, where only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Starting Monday, February 2nd.
Oh, you're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
I put my foolish pride aside in acknowledgement of your goodness. Everything is the Lord's in the earth in its fullness. It's M-A-D-I-O Mario, and I'm inviting you to tune into Entertainment Fridays on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now at 7:30 p.m. You miss it, you diss it. To fall, but was caught before I fell. Was so hard-headed, too stubborn, I asked for help.
That's the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, weekdays, 7:30 p.m. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
At the Lyndon Bindling International Airport, I'm Corvell Pyfrom. This is ZNS.
I'm Howard Grant, and welcome to The Rundown. At the start of another week,
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's a beautiful week. Grateful to be in your company. This week is already getting to a busy start, as the focus tonight is on Grand Bahama, my home. Residents there are hearing firsthand from the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, this evening, during a town hall meeting in Freeport, getting a clearer view of what's last week's partial ruling between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority really means. Now, what it really means for a great deal of us as Grand Bahamians is a clear understanding of separation. But the truth is, if we are straddling the lines of our political narrative, then we'll see a different thing. If we, just for a moment, divorce ourselves of the concepts and ideas of politics, then maybe, just maybe, we'll see the significant tribulation that existed through these things. The Prime Minister last week has taken on a very significant approach. And even at the beginning of this arbitration, at the beginning of the approach of being able to say that the Grand Bahama Port Authority, that you owe the government of the Bahamas $357 million. What has happened at this particular point in being able to identify that is a little more. What has happened is the evolution of this sort of a conversation has taken us to a place where we can understand some of the hidden truths, some of those things that have been swept under the rug, some of the offensive that exist maybe decades now, nearly a century. Maybe that's pushing it, but it is what it is. We're watching this administration being able to take on a mammoth task, a task that is bigger than any one man, a task that is bigger than any one administration, a task and an idea that surpasses so many that former leaders have decided to be able to let sleeping dogs lie. Our Prime Minister today is being able to take on this kind of a proverbial bull by the horn and being able to identify this. Now, I just want to be able to talk about this and talk to you about where we are from that particular standpoint. As a reminder, the historic partial ruling from the arbitration tribunal into the long-standing dispute between the government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority over who has control of the city of Freeport and whether the damages were owed has not settled the dust between the parties. In fact, the parties have started in this particular age and dispensation, and I can't say the parties. We see that the Grand Bahama Port Authority has taken on a very significant position in being able to run at the forefront of this and put out information indicating that they've won. Information that has been retorted and backtracked and been able to find a very strong position by the government with a sort of a revelation to the entire country, indicating that it was 139 pages and they released one page. And so the government of the Bahamas has taken on this kind of a strong position, indicate that go on the opm.gov.bs and you can be able to find everything. The Prime Minister of the country has been able to take this and take on a course that I just want to be able to be very clear with you. In this day and age, is significantly taboo. Talk to me. And this kind of a taboo posture that has led us to this position is something that has been, like the older generation would say, sometimes you got to let sleeping dogs lie. But not this Prime Minister. He's identified the importance of being able to unearth some of the tribulation that existed in being able to get to the root of the cause and the matter. And this, with the sort of revival of a conversation that started in 1969, an indifference that existed in 1969 has now come to the forefront, and being able to find people that are on both sides of the divide, making a determination as to exactly where they stand, and this kind of a determination of where their expectations are into the future. If you read the local dailies today, after the Prime Minister spoke last week in the House of Assembly, you would be able to recognize that the Grand Bahama Port Authority had taken on a very strong position and indicated that the status quo has not necessarily changed. Now, I thought that was peculiar. But I have a guest joining me this evening, but beyond doing that, I just have to say from Howard's heart, I thought that that was peculiar. Because the Prime Minister's core concept into the approach of being able to speak about this was not necessarily through the economic segregation only, but talk about the embodiment of segregation that existed in 1969 and this sort of an operation that existed in Freeport. The bend or break speech spoke to the soul of Grand Bahama. Former Prime Minister Lyndon Pinlin spoke to the soul that was devoid in a space, the soul, the salt, the flavor that existed in Grand Bahama. And he spoke to this with clarity. The Grand Bahama Port Authority has taken on this kind of a position and said that, hey, listen, there's segregation. In so many words, I'm only through the interpretation, I'm asking a question. Are you indicating that the embodiment of what the Prime Minister has spoken about is still intact, or only from an economic standpoint? It wasn't necessarily clear to me, but I want to be able to hear more about it. Well, these are some of the matters that we're going to be able to discuss tonight. We're going to have a great guest that's going to be joining us from the Coalition of Independence, leader Lincoln Bain. He's live with us right here tonight, and he'll be joined right after this break. You're watching The Rundown with Howard Grant right here on ZNS Television Network. We'll be right back after.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end.
Let's swim Bahamas. Water safety rule number 1. Never swim alone. Go with a friend.
Let's swim Bahamas, bring water hazards to an end. Water hazards to an end.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the years. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
And we're back. Well, he wears many hats. Radio host, motivational speaker, serial entrepreneur, former policeman, and today, he's better known as the leader of the Coalition of Independence political party. Some of his political goals include equitable distribution of natural resources, government transparency, and accountability for Bahamians, truly Bahamian empowerment, immigration, and others, much, much more. And Lincoln Bain is here tonight to address some of the major national issues his party is concerned about. Welcome to The Rundown, Mr. Bain. It's very good to have you this evening. Now, listen, you've been on every one of our platforms. Every one of our platforms. I'm truly grateful that you're here with us tonight.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Introduce yourself. Let persons know who you are.
Well, I'm Lincoln Bain. I'm
first-time voters who come over the coalition. Talk to me.
I'm Lincoln Bain. I'm a Bahamian who loves this country. And we are on a mission to make sure that Bahamians are put first in this country and that we benefit from everything that there is to benefit from in this country. We believe that our country is in trouble at this time. It's dysfunctional. It's not working properly. Healthcare, education, I mean, you name it, is not working properly. And this is 50 years later. And so we believe that this is critical mass, that we're at a crossroad. And if we don't fix it now, our country is going to be permanently broken.
There is a lot of these things are running at the forefront of you, even in the sort of the intro of being able to talk about you. One of the things is immigration being the forerunner. Has this this concept of immigration followed you? Is this sort of the core of the Coalition of Independence, or this is just a part of the overall concept in terms of being able to see change for the country?
Well, some people say that we talk about immigration a lot, but the fact is the media covers immigration a lot. We talk about a lot of things. We fought for a lot of issues. We started out talking about our natural resources and what our Bahamians are entitled to and benefiting from it, our sovereign wealth fund, our carbon credits. We started educating the public on that. But the immigration issue started to step forward because there was a crisis, especially since this government took over. There was a crisis also in the previous administration where the shanty towns were building up in Abaco and other places, and we had to stand up against that administration also to bring attention to it. But under this administration, we see a lot of things happening that shouldn't happen. There's a lot of passports giving out. I mean, we're flooded with immigrants. All of them seem to have a work permit, getting it from somewhere.
I will quantify and qualify that. We've also heard the leader of the opposition, the Royal Opposition, Michael Pintar, being able to speak to the position of passports being distributed, but we haven't necessarily seen a tangible result or information whether or not the police has taken on this particular matter, or whether or not this is just sort of wood for the political fire to be burning during this particular time. Talk to me about that.
For us, this is not wood for the political fire. This is a crisis that our country is going through, and we can see it. You can look on the streets. You can go in the mall. You can see it. You can hear it. Bahamians are not getting jobs right now because other people are getting jobs. Bahamians can't find apartments right now, or if they find it, it's $1,500 or more for, or a little bit less for a one-bedroom apartment. There's a crisis going on. You're running out of beds. You know, we just had an iconic police officer recently died, I think on the 2nd of March. We used to call him RoboCop. He used to walk through Palmdale, you know, with a machine gun, making sure everything was safe. He just recently passed away. He was in the A&E for 4 days because there was no room for him in any ward. All right, that's an iconic Bahamian who gave all of his life to this country, and that's happening to many Bahamians, and that's because there were no beds, because our country is being taken over is one of the reasons. And so our classrooms are full. You know, immigration is a major problem. It's affecting everything. It's affecting crime because not only do they smuggle people, they're also smuggling guns and drugs, etc., on those sloops. And so it's a major problem that we have to fix, and it seems like both previous administrations have failed to do so, and it almost seems like they're complicit. I hear the leader of the opposition and what he's saying, but they don't have credibility on this issue because under their administration, these same things were happening. Brent Simonet was bragging about how much citizenships he was giving away every single week. You know, we saw what.
Hold on, Lincoln. He was bragging, or he was giving the statistical information indicating what he would have done?
He wasn't technically bragging.
Okay.
What I'm saying is he was giving this information. Okay, I guess he was showing how efficient he was being by issuing out citizenship. Yeah. So to me, it was bragging.
I want to ask you about that because under former administrations, we would have seen the Minister of Foreign Services, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, those persons who go off, the Minister of Tourism, in many instances, talk about the necessity for diversification. Talk about not necessarily educational diversification, not industrial diversification, but all diversification for people, especially in a budding country, where we need to be able to see the country grow significantly. Statistically, from a global standpoint, when persons build their homes, it's never necessarily with the persons from here. In fact, if we want to be able to take 1955 and the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, the development of Freeport has been done by a great deal of persons from Turks and Caicos and other spaces. It's never really been the development of our country from those persons that live here. So when we talk about this sort of influx that you're seeing, hearing, feeling, touching, could that be possibly an indicator that we are on the cusp of growth, development, and a possible construction boom in our country of sorts?
Not at all. We don't need cultural diversification in our country. If you're going to come to our country, you have to become a Bahamian. You have to assimilate to us. We don't need cultural diversification. A country is, a nation is its borders and its land, its people and its culture. And we need to make sure that whoever is coming here, they become us if they want to become a part of us. That's the first thing. Now, you're talking about the boom that happened with the building of Grand Bahama, etc. Well, we saw it. We saw Grand Bahama rising vertically. We saw that. So we could say, okay, these people from Turks and Caicos are coming. We can understand that. When Crystal Palace was building, we saw Crystal Palace coming up. We saw them bring in the influx of people. We could see that. When Atlantis was building, we saw Atlantis going up. So we saw them bring in the Mexicans and other people who were coming in.
Bahama?
Bahama, same thing. What's going up now? Nothing is being built technically. We haven't really built roads, schools, hospitals. Nothing is happening vertically in this country.
What do you say
to
about
justify the influx? And that is why Bahamians are out of jobs. They're being pushed out. Foreigners and people of foreign descent are now getting all of the contracts.
Not just the economic
and hiring
crunch.
their people.
Not the economic crunch alone, but the fact that because if we look statistically, even though jobs are at the low, I think double digits, not necessarily single digits right now, low double digits, we're seeing in our country the necessity for being able to build back Abaco. And we would have heard about the shanty towns being eradicated during this time, and then now we're hearing shanty towns being built back again. Now,
shanty towns were never eradicated.
Love vine don't grow where there is no life.
Yeah.
So is there life in Abaco that requires people to be able to work? Because no one would be there if there was an opportunity for them to be able to make something. So talk to me about that.
They grow where there's slackness. They come where there is slackness. And so if you sold a dream by persons in the Bahamas, officials, etc., who want to sell you papers, and they say, come to the Bahamas, you're going to come to the Bahamas. When you get here, you might realize that, hold on, I can't get all these jobs they're saying. But that's what's really happening. The illegal immigration situation is a big money-making industry. That's bigger than drugs, it's bigger than numbers. It's a big racket that's going on. Everyone that comes in on those planes is a customer possibly for any corrupt official. And so there's big money in that. These passports we are hearing, we don't have confirmation, is being sold for $10,000. All right, that's a problem in our country. Here's the
who got $10,000 to pay for a passport?
Here's the people find it when they need it, and you got to remember.
Where do we get this money from?
Their family working here is sending the money back home to get other family members to come over, and that has been happening for some time. All right, and that's one of the biggest problems that we have.
Is Bahamian money or Creole money?
Bahamian money.
The alleged, now this is a lot.
That's
now,
alleged,
I want to talk to you about this, right? It seems to me, and you're my guy, and I want to talk to you about this, and I know we got our neckties on, but I want to be able to be a little bit informal with this conversation because I want persons to be able to ingest that, all persons who are listening in right now. The Coalition of Independence have been able to hit a particular chord with the Bahamian people. Whenever there is this notion or idea of separation and this idea of sovereignty and to stand on our own within our strength, there's always agitation for the Coalition of Independence. More recently, like I indicated to you, there was this sort of an idea that sprung up into the minds and hearts of people that said that this is an illegal immigration, and I always got to say this, illegal migration issue. Is there a chord of xenophobia that you wish to kind of continue to pluck and play on the Bahamian people to see them move in the direction with you as a result of playing this indifference that exists in our society? Talk to me about that.
Bahamians are not xenophobic by our nature. We are the most loving people, and we're known for that. We welcome foreigners. We have, the Americans always talk about how friendly we are, the Europeans, everyone. Even the Haitians have been allowed to come into our country. We hire them. We've given them jobs. We've allowed them to use our hospitals for free, our schools for free. Everything we have for free. We're not a hateful people. We went to school with them. I grew up with some of them. That's the first people I knew. All right? We are very friendly and accepting people. We don't suffer from xenophobia. What the problem is in the Bahamas is called endophobia. Endophobia is the fear or hatred of the local people. We are being last class in our own country. This has been happening for far too long. Everyone has an advantage now except for us. Now even the foreigners that came in illegally are having advantages that we don't have. And you're seeing it.
Isn't this a corruption issue? Because
it is.
If we start off the conversation to indicate that if allegedly, hypothetically, there are foreigners, illegal migrants coming into our space illegally and being able to access significant capital, foreign capital, to pay for a passport for $10,000, that's not a legal migration issue. That's a corruption issue, because they've opened the gate for these particular things to happen. And the reason why persons would be identified as lower class citizens, like, I'd agree with you, this has nothing to do with xenophobia, but the truth is, the one thing that persons are looking for is money. And so this seems to be a corruption issue that we need to be able to rectify. Talk to me about it.
It's an illegal immigration issue and it's a corruption issue, because illegal immigration can exist without corruption, and both can exist without each other, but we have the problem of both. And we're not only seeing corruption when it comes to illegal immigration, but these people are doing it apparently legitimately now. Before, they would come on the boat and work and just be underground, all right? Now, all of them you talk to got a work permit. Now, who they're working for isn't the person on that permit, which is still illegal, but they bought it from somewhere. And everyone on the ground knows what's going on, but no one wants to talk about it. It is a major issue in our country, and if we don't fix this, there will be no country for your children. We are fighting.
Does the COI have the wherewithal to fight this issue? Let's be real. Let's be talking about this now. There are people so intertwined in our society, and the uniform arms and all the aspects of every formal organization in this country. There are persons from a foreign culture that came here whose parents were they are first generation Haitians or first generation Bahamians coming from Haiti and so forth and so on, that have now infused themselves in every aspect of our society. They're possibly judges, possibly, who knows? There are definitely persons on the police force, definitely on customs and immigrations and so forth and so on. How do we seek to be able to rectify this issue? Is it going forward or similar to the Hawksbill Creek Agreement being retroactive?
Not because a person is of a certain descent means that they believe in corruption. There are good people of every descent who don't want to see what is happening. We exposed when a minister was accused of giving out a citizenship during a funeral. The COI exposed that. We got the recording of that from a Haitian, all right, who was disturbed that they had to wait and do it the right way. And they still didn't get straight yet. And their children had to wait all these years, but now a new set of people are coming in, paying people and getting straight just like that. And so they were angry. There are a lot of people, even of Haitian descent, of other descents, who don't agree with what's happening because they don't want the Bahamas to turn into what they ran from. So don't think that because someone is of that descent.
They came here illegal.
Some of them did.
And they was broke.
Yes.
Other persons came here illegal and got a couple dollars. It sounds like a hatred issue.
No, I don't think so.
All to the same gate of illegality in the country.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And so we take this information.
No, all of them didn't come illegal. Some of them came legitimately with work permits, and they were here renewing so long. And
Beyond their work permit?
Yes, and they...
So they overstayed their time?
No, not necessarily. Some of them renewed their work permit, and after a certain amount of years of being here, they are now applying. But they're saying they had to go through the long way, renewing their work permit every year, paying every year to get that, being legitimate, paying their NIB. But a new crew is coming, and this crew can come and pay under the table.
Is there enough conversations in the COI about corruption? Because this sort of ease of doing business financially, that's what this essentially is. That's how we've identified this. This is the ease of doing business for illegals.
No party probably in history, this country has been exposing corruption more than the COI. We are the Freedom of Information Act. We have been exposing and teaching the Bahamian people what has really been going on. We have shown people the dire state that this country is in, and we've done that fearlessly. We've been attacked, we've been victimized, etc. But we do it fearlessly because this is it. If the COI does not win this election and get this immigration and corruption thing together, this country is going to be lost. Let me tell you the effects of this. My brother, Bahamians were seeing like Class A immigrants. No one worried about us. We have the best passport you could name. We used to have indefinite visas. You remember that?
I remember that.
We started letting people in our country, and the indefinite visas got taken away. And now it's getting harder and harder to get a visa. That's my speculation.
Okay.
But I want you to watch what's going on. We can't take that risk. Now it's harder and harder to get visa. A lot of people are being denied visas. Bahamians. You saw when Dorian happened, Trump said, I love Bahamians. I don't mind them coming in. But because of, he literally said it, the Haitians who are coming in, all right, people that they don't want to come in.
Trump, during his first term, classed the entire
No, I
Caribbean.
want you to let me say this because Bahamians need to hear this. Because of other people that are coming into our country that we're allowing to come
I can
through,
write this down and I can say
he
it.
said,
Go ahead.
He said he's not going to let the Bahamians just come in. All right? So when you start having an issue of, and I'm talking to officials, when you start having an issue of a lot of fake passports, and this is becoming endemic, they know what's going on. Now, Bahamians may put their head in the sand, but it's going to hurt you because you are letting your officials make money and make it hard for all of us. And that's why we need to get this immigration straight. All right? Because we've been now put on lists that we've never been on in the history of our existence. We've been putting on lists where anyone coming from the Bahamas, applying to go to the United States, is a pause on you with these other people who a pause is on. We would always be exempt from these kinds of lists. But now there's a problem, my brother. And if we don't get this right, we're going to be in trouble. And lastly, this is the last election that we're going to be the majority. Bahamians. After this, it's going to be a shift. We are going to be outnumbered, and I want you to understand that majority rule. This is very heavy.
Lincoln, this is heavy.
This is very heavy.
Statistically, we can identify whether or not the 400,000 persons are genuinely Bahamian in the first place. Let's talk about that. And then I want to be able to hit this because we got to take this commercial break. I want to hit this. This post-COVID-19, this is when the modification happened. Post-COVID-19, when the world has shifted, they've actually looked at these particular positions and made a determination. And Trump, in his first term, identify everyone, the 46 million of us in the Caribbean, as S-hole countries. And you remember this. And so there is a particular idea associated with Make America Great Again that placed us in this particular position. And I think just the same way that the tariffs has been lathered on everyone else.
No, my brother. Us allowing our country to degrade and denigrate to where it is what makes us, in their view, an asshole country. Because we don't have a hospital if the tourists get injured. We don't have a proper free hospital that they can go to and get proper health care. On the family islands, we don't have hospitals on the family islands. All right, if our cruise passengers get injured or bitten from a shark or something happens, there's nothing to help. We don't have proper electricity and water on family islands. Billionaires on Harbor Island have to go there and nothing is working properly. We need to raise our country up and not just look at people criticizing us. We need to get it together.
All right, guys, we need to be able to get it together and get this conversation together and really talk about these things. We got a lot to talk about. I'm sitting here with none other than Lincoln Bain Coalition of Independence head and leader. We're going to be right back after this.
Mailboat service is a critical service to the islands of the Bahamas. Certainly, Andrews has always been there and dear to us. That's where we're born and raised. And so we play a crucial role in advancing the growth and development of Andrews. Customers want service and they want consistency. From the start, that's been our commitment. We work to sail on time every time. Our customers have come now to expect this from us. And one of the biggest challenges we've had was finding adequate funding. SPDC from the very start has been a lifesaver. My advice to young people, if you have a vision, a passion, an idea, go for it. Don't give up. It's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. Be consistent and you'll get there.
Oh, you're still here?
But of course you are. But be sure to tune in every weekday at 7:30 p.m. for the Bahamas Tonight Access Now,
Where we bring you the brighter side of news.
Join us for the Bahamas Tonight
Access Now, weeknights at 7:30 p.m.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Howard Grant. This is The Rundown, having a beautiful time. This is Monday, March 9th. A great deal of things are happening out there. I'm sitting with none other than Lincoln Bain from the Coalition of Independents, and we're having a great conversation to talk about these things. One of the things I wanted to kind of bring to the forefront is, one of the things I've been pondering as we see this sort of a narrative that follows. I don't know whether or not it's a deliberate thing, it's a design thing, or it's whether or not the society has kind of labeled them in this manner. The legal migration issue, and Lincoln is very articulate being able to talk to us about that and the passion that's associated with the COI and their need to be able to push. Now, Lincoln, when we left off, we were talking about this and being identified in a particular manner from those externally, more specifically from the United States of America. Let's bring it home. Let's bring it home. We got 3 segments, and I want to be able to take the time out to talk about those things. Now, more specifically, I want to have a conversation with you about what has been happening locally. I know that there is an indifference, whether or not that's political indifference or the personal indifference, I ain't getting in nobody's business. But I know that there's an indifference between you and the leader of the opposition with your expectations of being able to see significant agitation and sort of change and advocacy for those particular things from that. And we haven't been able to see that. You've been able to take on this kind of a course and being able to really push for what needs to happen, and I want to be able to commend you for that. Most recently, the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the government of the Bahamas have gone at it, and the arbitrators have been able to see the divide between those and being able to look over it for a few years, essentially coming back and saying that there hasn't been no necessarily winners, but there should be sort of a partial settlement or partial statement has been released with an expectation to see that the government, after they've identified whatever this vehicle is, to be able to get something. Talk to me about what you make of what's coming out of Grand Bahama and political agitation attached to that.
Yeah, so I just want to say I have no indifference with the leader of the opposition. I had 2 incidents with him that went viral, both of them where I was really asking him to hold the government's foot to the fire, to stop being weak, use the powers that the people have. The leader of the opposition used the PAC powers. Don't ask them where the money went. You are the PAC. You can summons all of them, and you can actually find out, but you're not really doing that. Don't say that the procurement isn't going right, they're not doing it properly. You can then file for judicial reviews, take them to court and force them, if they gave a contract that they wasn't supposed to give, you can force that contract to be null and void. They have that power, but they're just asking questions and doing things that are insignificant to make it seem like they have interest, but they actually have power. All right, and so that's where I have the kind of clash there. But I've also had the same kind of clashes with the government because we're holding their foot to the fire also, and we were alone in that for a long time. You're talking about Grand Bahama. There was a loser in all of that. People are saying there was no loser. The people lost. All right, you know Grand Bahama. You know what Grand Bahama was. Grand Bahama has declined
significantly
to where it shouldn't be. All right, it is dysfunctional. East End and West End, you tell me you can't have ambulances, you can't have a fire truck, you can't have the basic necessities, electricity can't stay on stably. Why are we having these, why are we satisfied with having these conversations 50 years later? Do you see what Dubai did in 50 years? Do you see what other nations have done in 50 years? Why are we still talking about potholes and building docks and why are we still having these remedial, building clinics? Come on, man. We need better in this country. And so the Grand Bahama Port Authority was founded, Grand Bahama, that Hawksbill Creek Agreement was done on corruption. And this is public knowledge, all right? And Bahamans have to realize that, all right? A criminal came to the Bahamas, paid off some politicians, according to the Commission of Inquiry, and was able to get this deal. You can't start off wrong and end up right. All right, and so based on that wrong deal happening, I did not say alleged because this was a Commission of Inquiry. Based on that wrong deal happening, we are where we are. And so they got a sweetheart deal, all right, to have a country within a country. A country within a country. And that should have never happened in the first place.
1955, for all those who don't know, 1955, the Hawksbill Creek Agreement in August of 1955 was is etched and penned and established and signed off by Wallace Grove and the government of the Bahamas at the time.
Yes, and so, and there was a Commission of Inquiry which showed that the arrangement was done because of corruption, $1 million paid to politicians at the time. All right, and so you started off wrong. someone gets power in our country that they shouldn't have. You can't eliminate a government in a country. Even if you have a free trade zone, there are hundreds of free trade zones now. When Freeport was done, there was only 2 in the world. Now there are hundreds of them. There's probably 100 in China alone. But the free trade zone in China doesn't have special laws for them, and they have full control. The same thing with Panama, all right, or Curacao. You're allowed to have your free trade zone, but you don't have a country within a country. What is that? And so that should have never happened, and that's where we started off wrong. And so we need to do something different, my brother. That isn't working. The FNM has failed to do something about it. The PLP has failed to do something about it. Even when the FNM had a Governor General, the Minister of Finance, and 5 MPs and everything else that they had.
2017.
They did nothing about the situation. We need a new set of politicians to come in who are not tied, who did not take money from the Port Authority.
How far are you going to take this conversation with corruption? Because you started it off in corruption. You got to be able to carry it through.
The biggest problem that we have in this country is corruption. We don't have an immigration problem. We have a corruption problem. We don't have a crime problem. We have a corruption problem. We don't have a healthcare problem. We have a corruption problem. All right? After 50 years, the FNM and PLP should have built a hospital. All right? But there are people who benefit from things the way it is because you got to go get private services. And that's where a part of the problem comes in. We got to fix this country so it benefits all of us, man, not a couple people. Because everything that hurts us benefits someone. And so when you follow who it's benefiting, now you know how to solve the problem for the Bahamian people. That maybe you can get a hospital because now you have a party that isn't funded by the people who will benefit. Maybe you could get some good education. Maybe you could fight crime.
I want to talk about this because this is a heavy thing that you've done, being able to start off with this based upon the information that you received from the Commission of Inquiry, indicating that this entire concept was birthed out of corruption. Being able to take care of some persons. That was in 1955.
Yes.
In 1969 is when they opened up Borco. And so they had the tycoons and other persons came down. And the Prime Minister at that particular time, Lyndon Oscar Pindlin, was taking on a very strong position. And during a time, like I said, if you look around the world, we would have just lost Martin, we would have just lost Malcolm X, we would have been able to see the indifference and the uprising with the Black Panthers and all those particular things coming out of the United States of America, which was the metropolis of influence around the world, really being able to sell off democracy. And so in 1969, our Prime Minister would have stood before all these persons of foreign hue, sitting in our place saying that we're going to bring something to you. And he stood there and said that Freeport doesn't have a soul. Freeport doesn't have this. And so the PLP administration during that time sought to be able to empower those persons in Grand Bahama who would have been separated. They would have been separated. They wasn't involved in these particular things. There were contracts that indicated that we cannot let blacks into these particular areas. And because Lyndon Pindlin identified this, he sought to say something from that. He was locked out from 69 in terms of input into Grand Bahama, even after 73 in independence, and the only time that we would have seen significant revival in Grand Bahama was in 92. Take it from there.
My brother, many of you think that Pindlin is dead. I want you to know that Pindlin is back, all right? The mentality of putting Bahamians first and Bahamians benefiting from this country, it's back, all right? We have been on a lull. You're looking at him.
Okay, talk to me.
The spirit of Pindlin is back.
I like this. I like this.
Our Move Road Properties Act is back. Putting Bahamians first and educating Bahamians, but this time not to be workers, to be owners, is back. We have to have a government that's going to put us first and not the foreigners. You put the FNM in there, then you see them just working with the foreigners and the oligarchs, etc., and you cry, all right? And that's what some people want again. They want to go back to crying, all right? You put the PLP in there, now you see them working with the other illegal foreigners, you know. Come on, my brother. It's time for government that's going to put Bahamians first and foremost. Who's going to empower Bahamians?
And the COI can do that.
The COI will do that. All right? We're going to get that done. The reason we want people to benefit from the natural resources, that's not an election ploy. All right? That started from the PLP. The PLP is who pushed that forward. right? And they started a sovereign wealth fund in order to do it, but they never really did it. Us to benefit from our natural resources is because the dreams and visions that's going to build the new Bahamas is not in a politician. It's not what the politician is going to do. It's in you.
So why be a politician?
The problem that because you need to take the pen to empower the people. Countries, you made a statement about Trump and him saying that certain countries are asshole countries and that he really wanted white people from white countries in his countries. No, there are countries that don't have white people like Dubai, Qatar, etc. that he does not include as asshole countries. These are countries that are now first world. They used to be developing nations.
Financially stable.
All right? They're financially stable, not because they had oil, because there was many countries that got oil and it destroyed them. All right? But they are stable because they empowered their people, not the government. All right? Qatar, Dubai, etc., they empowered their people so that when you go to Dubai, you see people walking around looking like royalty. That's not royalty. That's citizens. That's regular citizens. They empowered their people because God put a vision and a gift in all of us. The problem in the Bahamas is we can't fulfill our vision and our gift because we don't have access to capital and we don't have the opportunities. And they make it hard to open a business. They crush you because the same little oligarchs want to keep everything for themselves. But if we empower the people, we can have a great nation. And that's all they did, you know. And as big as America is, you know what they do? They empower their people, their companies. And all the policies that you see Trump doing is about empowering U.S. companies and looking out for them. I don't have a problem with him doing that, but we need to do the same thing. And so our vision is to empower every single Bahamian. Some of them are going to squander it. But if 100 squanders it and one gets it right, it's just like an angel investment company. They know that they're going to invest in 10 companies and 9 of them are going to fail, but that one that catches on is going to make up for all of it and more. All right? And so if we can empower you, because you have that vision and dream, or one cousin you have, or one family member in your house, you know that, boy, if they had the money to use their talent, it would have been something different. That's where the ideas are going to come. Bahamians are going to build the new Bahamas, not the politicians. We're going to take power away from the politician and give it to the people.
You know, Lincoln, we have seen so many politicians come and go over the years in fringe organizations that have had, that has had us really being able to eat out of their hand with their articulations and the rhythms in their voice, the vision that they spew, and there's sort of an idea that they cast into the country. And as soon as they are not necessarily successful with their ploy, with their political organization, whatever their particular approach is, they find themselves folded in to the formality of an organization, the tradition of an organization, and we never hear from them again. We never hear from that person with vision, with passion, with tenacity. Again, they become a part of the status quo. How is it that the Bahamian people can trust and assure that Lincoln Bain, the Coalition of Independence, and those persons who are agitating for this change, this kind of a remarkable change for the country, how is it that we're going to be assured that you stay committed and righteous in your indignation, righteous in your posture to ensure that we get those things that you speak of? How are we going to do that?
Because I think the Bahamian people know by now that Lincoln Bain is not a sellout. And if I was going to sell out, I would have already sold out. I've been fighting for the Bahamian...
What about the people who say the price wasn't right yet? Talk to me.
If you know the price, you will know that that was a big price.
Woo, Jesus,
all right? I've been offered millions of dollars to stand down. I'm saying it on ZNS. All right? I've been offered positions. All right? I have not taken it. Because the fact that you're offering me means that I'm a threat. And you know that I'm a threat. Otherwise,
and they
you
offer
wouldn't
you
offer
10% of your value. So if they offer you $1 million, you're worth more than that. That's heavy what you're saying, Lincoln.
My brother.
This is heavy.
It makes no sense for you to become wealthy and everyone else around you is poor. Because guess what?
They can beg you.
Beg you? They come in for what's yours. Jesus. They're going to break in your house, and your daughter is going to feel it. You're going to feel it. All right? We need the country to rise together like they did in the Middle East. That's how they did things differently. That's not socialism. They are very capitalist. I am very capitalist. But I believe that if we empower our people, the visions and dreams can come forward. Like I said, everyone knows that I'm not for sale. I've been doing this over 2 decades. Speaking truth to power, fighting these powerful people, companies, politicians, calling their names. Calling their business names, saying exactly what they've done. Have you ever seen me arrested for criminal libel? No. Have you ever seen me sued for criminal libel? No. Because what I'm saying is the truth. and they hide their heads in the sand. They've lied to us and told us that we have no natural resources. That was a lie. When their signatures are on documents giving away billions of dollars of our document, and it was of our natural resources, and it wasn't until we started to expose it that people started to wake up. And the time is now for Bahamians to wake up and realize that they are more valuable than they know. This is the Cinderella story. Cinderella owned that house. She owned everything, and her stepmother and those sisters were taking everything for themselves and treating her like garbage and had her as the worker. But it's time for Bahamians to rise up, and that is what we are fighting for.
Are you the fairy godmother in this story, or are you Cinderella in terms of being able to bring change?
We are Cinderella.
We.
And we have been abused for too long. Bahamians have been treated badly for too long by expats that they work for, by our politicians. We've been treated like potcakes, like dogs. But the Bahamas story is going to be a Cinderella story where all Bahamians are going to become royalty, just like they do in Dubai and those other countries. When people come there, they get to say, boy, Bahamians are some royalty. One time ago, we used to go to Miami in the 80s, and when we shop, they say, oh, Bahamians, that's rich people. Because we'd come and we just come in shopping, and they looked up to us. That glory is gone from us, but we are going to be great again.
Wow.
And we are going to be royalty, and we're going to treat every Bahamian like royalty. And guess what? From our natural resources, you're going to get your royalty, and you're going to be royalty.
Well, as it relates to royalty, I'm looking forward to that, but we'll take a little bippity-boppity-boo and be back right after this commercial break.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting tingsybahamas.com.
I am a master plumber by profession. I've been doing plumbing for over 40-odd years. When I was 9 months old, I was diagnosed with polio. To me, living with polio, I took it the way it is. I never allowed my polio to get in my way of anything. In fact, I love when people doubt me, and I just prove them wrong. And let me tell you, in the world, you could only find a plumber as good as me, but you ain't gonna find no plumber better than me. People with disability, they just need a chance. In this program, I feel so encouraged. Most of the mentors have different kind of disability, but disabilities like me. Sharing and caring and showing so much support with people with disability. They would encourage you to go beyond. I wish this was around a long time ago. Right now, I would have been a millionaire. You out there who have a disability, don't be afraid. Take the step. If you believe it, you could achieve it. And remember one thing, ain't no one better than me, and ain't no one better than y'all. God made all us equal.
For more information about how the SBDC can help your small business to make a big impact, give us a call at 461-7232 or visit sbdcbahamas.com.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Rundown. I'm Howard Grant. Grateful to be in your company. Always grateful to jam with you and really being able to talk about these things tonight. We're talking significantly. We talked immigration. We talked about the country from a significant standpoint, really being able to identify what is happening with the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement and in this sort of a battle or this spat between the government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority. We've actually been able to see a great deal happen right now with the Prime Minister being able to be, I think, as a town hall tonight. I stand to be corrected, just being able to make sure that those particular things have happened. But nonetheless, we're sitting here with none other than Lincoln Bean from the Coalition of Independence being able to talk to us about a great deal of things. And I like his passion, his tenacity, his determination, his consistency in being able to talk about these matters. They're saying that, hey, listen, we are the way, the truth, and the life as it relates to politics in this country. We are the change that you've been looking for. We are the opportunity that you want to talk about. I want to be able to talk to you more specifically about politics. Most recently, we would have been able to see the Coalition of Independence ratify all its candidates. But recently, we would have been able to see 2 candidates decide, whether it's personal reasons or otherwise, to be able to step down. Now, this is not foreign, this is not odd, this is not, we would have been able to see this in all the major organizations. Persons get an opportunity, because this is not an easy thing. You know, you've done it enough, I've done it too. And the issue is, you got to go home to your wife, you got to go home to your family, you got to be able to make these determinations. So when persons step down, it ain't because there's something happening in the organization. More than likely, there's some things that's happening home. Do you have, I think you ratified another person for what was
St. Barnabas?
St. Barnabas, right?
Yes.
You ratified someone for St. Barnabas.
Yes.
What about Eleuthera? You had someone that decided to be able to step back in Central to South Eleuthera, correct?
And we've had several people that have come forward. We were,
be ratifying
we were
somebody for that?
interviewing persons even up to today.
You're going to be ratifying somebody for that?
Definitely. We're going for 41 seats.
So you have...
And we want to win all 41 of them.
So you have you'll have persons ratified in every constituency?
Every single constituency.
Leading up to the general election?
Yes.
Okay. Now, a lot of persons are talking to me more specifically about some of your star players, you being one of the major ones, Kai Mills being a major person, Dr. MacGyver being a major person. They've been talking in big ways about these particular persons. If not necessarily being able to take the whole hog, at least being able to capture a significant amount of votes that's being able to move away from the royal opposition and really being able to lend support to the PLP. In fact, Michael Pinto would have been able to take on this kind of a position and indicate that any vote that's not for the Free National Movement is for the PLP. Any vote against the Free National Movement is for the PLP, almost indicating that if you vote for the COI, if you vote for fringe organizations, if you vote anything outside of the formality of these organizations, you are voting for the PLP.
This, I know our time is limited. This is the trick that they play every election to ensure that the PLP or the FNM wins every time. The PLP and FNM is one.
Is one.
Is one. All right? They are one party. They are business partners. You've been deceived over the years. Ingram, Christie, Davis, and co. They are working together. All right? They've been working together, the PLP and FNM, and that's caused Bahamians to be discouraged because they said, we vote for change, but it didn't change. It was the same people. The PLP said they bring in VAT. The FNM says, oh, it's wrong. When they come, they repeal it. But then when the FNM come, they increase the VAT because they're working together. All right? And Bahamians are starting to realize that. A vote for the FNM is a vote for the PLP. A vote for the PLP is a vote for the FNM.
Because I got to do this. You know, in my capacity, we have to talk with clarity in these particular positions.
Of course.
Right? And so we know that the PLP had the responsibility of being able to introduce at the forefront VAT at 15%. They went to consultations with the Bahamian people, and at that consultation indicated they should cut it in half at 7.5%. Every administration, every government thereafter has a responsibility of being able to inch that up, and information indicates that it's supposed to be almost at a ceiling at 21%.
20%, yes.
At 20%. And so when you see the FNM coming in, even though they had a desire to be able to pull it down, they pushed it back up. The FNM has always been a corporate organization. The PLP has always presented themselves as a social organization. And so they're coming back in to be able to bring it down again. I just want to touch that. I just want to say it like
let me help you with what's really going to happen. And you can screen record this. Every Bahamian listened under the sound of my voice. When VAT was coming, I was talking about it on the radio. People didn't believe me. The government was denying it. I said, VAT is coming. Once you see the IDB puts their recommendations out, that is going to happen. The VAT is not the big problem. Once the election happens, VAT is going back up. And it's probably going to go to 15% initially, all right? I can guarantee you that's what's going to happen. What's really going to happen is we're going to get income tax. All right? Jamaica already has it. Other Caribbean islands already have it. The IDB has already said income tax. Once you see the IDB says that, the government could deny it as much as they want. We're going to have income tax. You hear the FNM at their convention talking about a more equitable form of tax. They're trying to say income tax is more equitable than VAT tax. That's a lie, because the wealthy corporations and people know how to not pay any tax. So only the poor will end up paying income tax, because there's certain things that they can do to make sure that they don't pay any. All right, and there's nothing you can do to stop that. And so they're going to bring income tax on the backs of the people. Mark my words, if you vote FNM or PLP, do not cry because you voted for it. You're going to have customs, VAT, including VAT on customs, you're being double taxed already, and you're going to have income tax along with every other tax that you have. We need to be a country like Dubai, Qatar, Norway, etc., that doesn't depend on taxes but makes money from its natural resources, all right, and uses those to invest in other things. Dubai invested in tourism, and now they're getting tens of millions of tourists to a desert, while we are in the mouth of America with sandy beaches, nothing we have to build. They had to build beaches, and we just bragging about reaching 10 million tourists. Come on, that's backwards.
Let's
that's
talk
failure.
about this.
And so we are going to go into ownership of tourism. We're going to own cruise ships. A couple $100 million. They go to the House of Assembly and borrow $500 million or $1 billion like that's nothing. But we don't see where it's going. We don't see where that goes. We should borrow for what we can make money from and then use the return on investments to do what we need to do. All right, that's what Dubai and these other smart countries that became developing nations did. Yeah, their country was deep in debt. Yeah, they were poor. But when they formed a new company, a company that's separate from the government.
You keep talking about Dubai, who has
an example.
The access to their own capitals, meaning that they have access to their own path, which they seek to be able to lead. Now, even if we start to have this kind of a conversation about the WTO, the IDB, and so forth and so on, yeah, but when we have this sort of debt for nature swap, this sort of an idea that exists within these particular realms, then we know that we have to yield some of our convictions, some of our positions, and bend a bit just to be able to ensure that we can keep the space afloat. This is what has happened from a traditional standpoint. This is what has happened over former administrations being able to look at these things and make a determination that this is how they do it. Now, I want to ask you all of this, and because we ain't got much time, so I want to talk to you about this. Tell me about whether or not you think you're going to make an indent. You got less than about 15% of the voting populace in the last general election. And if we look from a historic standpoint, even with the DNA, even with these fringe organizations who had strength, there has always been sort of a downfall in the preceding election. Do you believe that you will capture as much of the voting populace that you would have gotten in the last time?
To your first statement, the problem was that we had weak leadership with no vision. Just sitting back waiting for a foreigner to come in and do whatever they want to do in our country and take money under the table, I believe. And so that's the problem, all right? That's my opinion. In terms of putting a dent, nothing happens before it's time. They say you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's not true. You run him up and down in that yard enough, he's going to come to that water himself. And I think the Bahamian people have been running back and forth, F&M, PLP enough. Nothing changes people more than pain. And when that pain comes, that's when they move. That's why God let the children of Israel suffer pain in Egypt, so that they could want to leave.
Has your generation come? Has your 40 years presented itself that it's time for us to be able to walk over the proverbial Jordan into a third party?
40 years, we're late.
Yeah, we as a people.
My brother, Moses, is dead. It's time for the Joshua generation. It's time for a new generation, new thinking with new vision to take us into the promised land. My elder statesman, the Prime Minister, is 74, 75. The other elder statesman, Michael Pintard, is over the senior age, and he is 62. I'm in my 40s. And so it's time for a new generation to take this country forward. Not people who grew up in the 50s and 60s. It's time for new leadership. Now, we don't have a problem with those persons contributing and being a part of what we're doing, because we have persons their age running with us also. I'm talking about the leadership and the vision to take us to where we need to go.
I like it.
We need people who grew up in this dispensation, in this era, who knows about what's going on, to take us where we need to go. We are just like the Joshua generation. Joshua wasn't old, but he wasn't young. He was right in between, where he had enough experience, but enough energy to take us forward.
I like it.
All right? It's time for a new Bahamas with vision that can take us forward. The country is broken, and everyone must acknowledge that the country is broken. Healthcare, broken. Education, broken. Crime, broken. Look at our streets, broken. Nothing works. Nothing. Electricity, water. Why are we having these conversations? Give someone else a try. Immigration, disaster.
I like it.
If we don't have the right leadership to stand up, see, Trump came in immediately, executive order, national emergency at the borders, and guess what? No one is crossing that borders now. Millions of people were crossing before. If we have strong leadership, the right visionary leadership, we can have a new Bahamas.
Lincoln, I want to thank you so much for being able to be with us. We're going to have a 2-hour conversation to talk to you about how some of these things are going to get done. I like that.
Love it.
All right?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much. Before we end, we want to announce the rundown will not air tomorrow evening. ZNS Television will broadcast tonight's town hall meeting on Freeport featuring the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis. Tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. for the program. It's going to be right here. Be sure to stay locked into ZNS Network for the Bahamas tonight at 11 p.m. It's the final newscast in the country with the latest news and information with Corvell Python. From all of us here at ZNS, I am Howard Grant, and thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday.
At Bahama Boulevard, I'm Sean Innes. This is ZNS.
700 islands wrapped in turquoise streams. Every voice matters.